You're under arrest.
5 of them, 3 of us. Hardly seems fair. Never should give him a chance to surrender.
Excuse me, but there's 4 of us.
Porthos, and Aramis. Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
Now, we're prepared to resist you. Walt Disney Pictures presents the story of the greatest heroes who ever lived.
Long live the Musketeers!
It was a time when danger was irresistible.
Did I miss anyone?
King's life is in danger.
We have work to do.
1,000 gold pieces on each of their heads, dead or alive.
I prefer
Kill him!
dead.
Adventure was everywhere.
I hope we're not interrupted. Kill those musketeers. Champagne? In the middle of a cave, Porthos.
And friendship
That's right. Something red.
was the greatest weapon of all.
All for one. More for me.
Charlie Sheen,
You must pray for our sins. Second thought, God's often busy.
Kiefer Sutherland,
Save the king!
Chris O'Donnell,
Want a mission for the king?
I've heard that before.
Oliver Platt,
That's it. Next time you drive.
Tim Curry,
Snap of my fingers, and you could be back on the block where I found you.
and Rebecca De Mornay.
And with a flick of my wrist, I could change your religion.
The 3 Musketeers.
Hello there. Greetings and salutations. Welcome back to the movie anniversary watch-along spectacular. I am your host, Ryan of Neuroculture, and boy, do we have a treat for you tonight. The 90s were such a great decade of greatness. Not such for television with, yes, a lot of popular television shows, but also some popular films that some of you may have grown up on, such as myself. Joining me on this adventure, hey, it takes 3 musketeers and maybe a young apprentice to save the day in some cases. Please welcome my former tag team partner in the movie trivia fan leagues, Ryan the Real Deal, or Regan is back, Jack. What's up, Ryan? Good to see you. How are you?
Ah!
Exactly. Thank you.
I'm doing good. I'm feeling fresh, feeling funky. And I am so glad to be on this one as far as your watch-alongs go, because as you can see, I am a Porthos the Pirate Man.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No shame in being a fan of that character or that actor in this case. Also joining us on this panel, our 3rd Musketeer. Please welcome Jen to the stage. Hello, Jen. Welcome in. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good, and I'm so excited for this one. I love this one.
We're happy to hear that. Happy to hear that. We are so happy that both of you are here, and also we're happy that you are here with us. Now, before we hit the magical button known as play and start watching this thing, I'm going to give you an opportunity to get to know our panelists just a little bit better. So with that, Ryan the Real Deal or Regan, I'm going to ask you, what were your earliest memories of watching this film way back when?
I do remember this was probably like one of the first like live action Disney movies I had probably gotten myself into. Mostly because you have to understand during this time was like that Disney Renaissance of like, you know, Little Mermaid, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, all those kinds of like good animated movies that really came out. And because of that, live action Disney never really stuck in my head. Like I'd only been to Disney a few times, and it was one of those things that, yeah, I would hear about older movies that were live action. Didn't necessarily see so much during my time. I was still in like that cartoon fixation. But 3 Musketeers was definitely one of the first ones I remember seeing in theaters. I enjoyed it. I thought it was maybe like harder than a movie should have been, considering the age I was going to, because people die. And I know Disney is good for like killing off mothers and parents of their protagonists, but
There's a reason for that.
Yeah, when you see all the gunfire that happens in this movie, it's like, wow, okay, Disney's going hardcore. This is hardcore Disney that I considered. You compare that to now, and it's like still tame. But when you're a kid, it's like, yeah, give me a sword. I want a sword. Let me.
Boy,
I'm
that's,
just eating myself here.
that's one way to describe it. So, well, thank you, kind sir, for sharing that with us. Jen, what about you? What was your experience watching this movie way back when?
Oh man, this was one of my favorites. That I'm surprised I did not break the VHS because of the amount of times I watched to rewound that thing. This one was such a, I think, pivotal moment for me in my movie watching journey, even though I was a kid, because see, first of all, this cast. Um, Even though I didn't know the a lot of the actors' names at the time, but I recognized Tim Curry right away because I've seen Tim Curry in other films and I recognized him immediately, which made me excited. And it was also my introduction to classical literature, The Three Musketeers, since it is a book first. So that got me really intrigued into wanting to read other stories that are similar. But yeah, for me, this is one of my all-time favorites. Love this one. And it's a really good adaptation of the story, I think. There's a good balance of drama, comedy, and then yeah, for a Disney film, this is hardcore.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So for me, I remember going to my local library and checking this movie out because I wasn't really familiar with the story. I was just a youngling at the time, a little before I was a Padawan learner, if you will. And growing up in the 90s was great because we had so many great films and TV shows. So this is one of the films I stumbled upon at my local library. I checked it out. I found out it was based on a book written by Alexander Dumas. And I took it home, watched it, and I just fell in love with it because it was just fun. It was just fun. And there were some good one-liners in there, specifically by Oliver Platt, who we'll talk more about later. So I liked it. There was good adventure. There was romance. And, there were some good-looking people in this movie. So that's not a bad thing either. So, and I like the suits. I love the costumes. The costumes look fabulous. I said after the movie, I want one of those musketeer outfits. I want to run around with a sword and be a swashbuckler. Why not? I'm up for it. I like the suits. I like the outfits. I like the costumes. I like the period pieces. So
I'm really into costuming, and this film, for the time, they actually really did good on period correct costumes for this era. They did a really good job. I was very impressed with the costuming as I got older.
Oh yeah, for sure. So yeah, as I said before, I ended up really enjoying it. I watched it a number of times over the years, and it's just a fun movie to revisit and just enjoy. Just enjoy the fun, just enjoy the adventure of it all in a swashbuckling film within that genre, of course. It just works. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start watching this film in a moment here, but I want to let you know that for those of you who just joined us, we are going to be watching the movie 1993's The Three Musketeers from Walt Disney Pictures. It is currently streaming on Disney Plus. # not sponsor. We're going to cue it up to the zero mark where Walt Disney Pictures logo is on your screen, or the 0 1 second mark. So whether you're at the 0000 or the 0001 second, it's okay. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Real quick, some people are chiming in the chat. So before I get started, Dave Manley says, man, what a cast this film had. That's true. Thank you, Dave. 2 Ryans are better than 1. I guess you're right, Dave. I guess you're right. The Dutch Star Wars guy. Hello, Case. Good to see you. He says, good evening. Good to see you, Case. And Dave Manley says, the Rocky Cardinal Picture Show.
Oh,
wow. Okay. That's a bit strange, but okay. I get where you're going. I think I know where you're going, but I'm not going to touch it.
It's a nod. It's a nod.
Yeah, I figured it was. So we're going to... Yeah, so if you want to queue up your copy on a physical media or what is known as a streaming service, please do so now. Watch the movie along with us. If you have any favorite moments, favorite quotes, favorite stories, whatever, let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. And don't forget to like and share this with everyone you know. Without any further ado, we're going to hit the magical button known as play in 3, 2, and 1. Go. And now our feature presentation. So here we go. You got a classic Walt Disney Pictures blue logo that came up on this one. Oh, wow. I forgot that. Is this Caravan?
It is
Caravan Pictures had a hand in this.
Mm-hmm.
Never understood that opening.
Really?
It's like it's a caravan, and it's just a guy walking down the street. Where's the caravan?
Isn't he walking with a sack? Is that the caravan?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Isn't he? I mean, I think he is. So we're
Yeah,
getting the opening credits here with the cast members.
Oh my gosh, such a cast, and the chemistry between all of them is so good.
Tim Curry.
Oh, okay.
This is how I was introduced to Rebecca De Mornay, because until a little while ago, I didn't really know much about her as an actress, and then I saw her. She was in the Tom Cruise movie Risky Business.
Yeah, this was my first Rebecca movie, as well as Chris, who's in this film.
Chris O'Donnell, yeah.
Yeah, because I remember when Batman what is it, Batman Returns came out?
Well, Batman Returns was Keaton. Batman Forever was the introduction of Robin.
Okay, thank you. It was Batman Forever. I couldn't remember which one. When I saw Batman Forever, I was like, that's D'Artagnan.
Oh, man.
And here's another thing for you. I didn't know who this actress was until I saw her years and years and years and years later in the Before trilogy with Ethan Hawke. Julie Delpy,
yes,
is in this movie.
Yeah.
And she was in the Before trilogy with Ethan Hawke.
Mm-hmm.
So there were a lot of beginning or young up and coming actors and actresses at the time in this movie.
And then they're working with Tim Curry. I mean, look at this entrance to one of the main characters here.
Yeah.
This is an entrance. Come on.
With Tim Curry's character, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Coming in through the dark. Oh, by the way, someone just mentioned this to us as a note. Let's see. Dave Manley says the caravan is behind him. We're the caravan, regarding the Caravan Pictures logo there, Ryan. And then Dave Manley,
we're the Walking Dead line.
And then Dave Manley says, "Welcome to the Cave of Wonders."
Arabian Night. Let me stop.
hey, we did a 30th anniversary watch along for that last year.
Yeah, see, like for a Disney movie, like this is
This is the side of Pirates of the Caribbean that they don't show you on the ride.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the dark side of Disney that they don't always show you, I should say.
It would be really cool if live action Disney productions were very much like this, because I know you both can agree with this. You have so much more appreciation for films that shoot on location, and even if it is a set stage, the amount of detail, soundstage, the amount of detail that goes into making you really think this is a real location somewhere in Europe.
Mm-hmm. It was great. Like I said, I think the costumes, as we go along the movie, we'll mention this as you see a little bit more detail that is going to be revealed to us here. But I think the costumes and the set design was really good in this one.
Oh yeah, they
honestly.
like
look at that. One less mouth. Ooh, man, this Tim Curry is just he's a stealing snake. He's so good at playing a snake, you know.
I think out of all I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's not a name that I recognize, but then doing the research, the guy that gave us Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Who, Stephen Herek?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's directed some of the best films of all time.
He was big in the 90s, man.
He was huge. He directed Bill and Ted. He directed Three Musketeers. He directed the Mighty Ducks, Ryan. Remember the Mighty Ducks? He directed that.
This character, Gerard, makes me laugh so much with his high-pitched voice.
Yeah, you mean Gerard, yeah.
Yeah, Gerard, before he went to the doctors, he was this sniveling little dick.
You a musketeer? It's a fantasy.
Yeah, I love how they're in Paris and yet no accent.
Yeah.
Most of the cast sound American. They're not Frenchmen.
None of the people in this movie are really French. Everyone's American, just pretending that they're
This was back when it's like look authentic, but you don't have to sound authentic.
Yeah, and the other thing is, this is what Hollywood's been doing since the very beginning. When adapting books, there's always creative liberties taken, no matter what.
And I think that's what I miss to a degree with filmmaking now, is that it's all about the artistry and that just casting the right cast to portray characters. Because even now, as at the age that I am watching this film, it doesn't bother me that they are not using appropriate French accents or using French terminology, pronunciation, or even like inserting terminology here or there when it's appropriate. I think this really shows that when you use something for the love of the art of it, you won't pay attention to that.
Yeah, what was I going to say earlier? Oh, yeah, that's very true.
Ride, D'Artagnan, ride!
And let me see. Dave Manley goes on to say, I knew the rest of the leads when I saw this in the theater, but this was my first introduction to Oliver Platt.
Likewise.
Mine
Did
too.
not know
I
Oliver
love
Platt was
Oliver.
a Beethoven, which came out before this, but this was the first time I had ever seen the man. So I was like,
triumphant.
okay, I remember Kiefer from Lost Boys. I remember Charlie Sheen from Hot Shots.
Yeah.
No idea who Oliver Platt was.
I remember the first time I saw this with my mom. She's like, Charlie Sheen is in this?
Yeah.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, of all three Musketeers, he's the womanizer. Who knew?
I love his comedy. It's like second thought, God's busy, and that's coming up soon.
Yeah. With everything that's happened with him in his personal life, like it's so what a 180 being the most spiritual being, like spiritual belief man in this movie. He has the most whacked out personal life.
Even the machine.
Charlie Sheen as a lead, I never really saw, but Charlie Sheen in like group movies, whether it was like
he's good in them.
What was that one where Lucas when he was in that, when he was in
Ferris Bueller.
What was that one with the greasers and the Socs?
Was it The Outsiders? The Outsiders. That was a Francis Ford Coppola, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he always did good opposite other people. Never.
When he collaborated with other people, Charlie Sheen was fantastic. When he does stuff on, granted, when he does stuff on his own, it's okay, but at the same time, you've had a lot of demons to wrestle.
Man, the stunts in this. Look at this.
Yeah, a lot of stunts in this movie. By the way, Dave Manley goes on to say, Chris O'Donnell looks weird with puffy hair.
No, he doesn't. He's fine.
Well, according to Jen, it's someone she would
trust me. They'll all look weird with puffy hair.
Yeah. What was it that Dave said? Oh yeah, Dave Manley says, Dave Manley says Aaron has tiger blood. We'll get you, Dalton. In the meantime, give my regards to your sister.
Yo, now people would be shot for that if you said it. Ooh.
Oh yeah.
You think so?
That's fighting words.
Probably.
I gotta look at the locations of this film. I mean, look at this. This is so good.
Didn't they film it in Austria? Because it was a collaboration between Disney and Austria Studios at one point.
By the way, I never realized that's the villain from The Crow.
Yes.
I remember as a kid, I always wondered how he had such silver teeth. His teeth are impeccable.
You know what else I figured out when looking this character up? He's also the old guy from Nope.
Oh, wow.
What?
You guessed it with like the aging and everything, but that's
really
the same.
Michael Wincott? Man.
Yeah.
He's been acting for decades and decades. And this
they get to try to film the alien.
Isn't it crazy that Michael Wincott and Kiefer Sutherland have been working together for 30 years? Because this may have been their first collaboration together because they were in this movie together, and then they may have done something before that I don't know. But after that, they've been in some stuff. Like Michael Wincott showed up in 24, season 9, Live Another Day, when Kiefer Sutherland came back. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, didn't you two guys work together like almost 30 years ago in Three Musketeers? And then they worked together again in the indie film that Kiefer Sutherland, Donald Sutherland, and John Cassar from 24 directed, which was the Western movie Forsaken. So, if you want a good Kiefer Sutherland, Michael Wincott movie, watch the Western movie Forsaken. I would highly recommend that.
I'll put that on my list. I haven't seen it yet.
You might want to write that one down, Jen.
Yeah, I think him and Kiefer Sutherland's character, they have more of like the back and forth good guy, bad guy dynamic than say some of the other characters do against them. Yeah. So it might have stemmed from that. If you have to go ahead and do like a lot of sword play or a lot of like stunt work with one particular person, you work up a repertoire.
Yeah, they've been collaborating together for 30 years. It's crazy.
Ryan, I looked up the movie locations. Most of it was filmed in Austria. Only a few locations in the UK.
There you go.
Well, yeah, look at those buildings.
Yeah. Look at the size of those things.
Yeah.
It's crazy how much space. It's crazy how much space they used.
Mm.
I mean, the hallways are long. The just the height of the buildings are just insane. Your Eminence.
Yes, Your
Eminence. An impressive performance. Tim Curry was just born to play bad guys. He was so good at it. Doing it for years. Doing it for decades.
Him, Christopher Lee,
Mm-hmm.
Gary Oldman. They have a trend.
You know, I actually just saw Gary Oldman in a film a couple months ago that I watched for the first time. It was, I don't think he directed. I think he produced the film. No, I think he did produce. He didn't direct it, but it was the film True Romance.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Gary Oldman was in that,
Oh, wow.
and I got to tell you, Gary Oldman lost himself in that movie. So, look, there's a certain scene in True Romance with Gary Oldman, and who's he confronting in this? He's confronting the main character, Christian Slater. It's weird, but it's hilarious at the same time. Just look it up. It's on YouTube. It's absolutely hilarious. You won't even recognize that it's Gary Oldman. That's how good he is.
Oh, yeah. Gary Oldman's a chameleon.
He
My
disappears into that role. You know
God.
what's
Look at this.
Like
Look at this.
Gary Oldman in The Fifth Element, Roquefort.
Yeah, that too.
Like if you just take away the long black hair, it's like that's basically him.
Wow.
Oh my!
Oh, that's still chasing after him.
I didn't know this. I didn't know this was happening. Well, for those of you just joining us, we are at the 12-minute mark of the movie The Three Musketeers from 1993, distributed by Walt Disney Pictures. It's currently streaming on Disney Plus. # not a sponsor. If you want to queue up your copy on a physical media or streaming service, watch the movie along with us and share your favorite moments. Please do so in the comments in the chat. Don't forget to like and share this with everyone you know. And I want to thank our panelists as well as you who may be watching or listening to this right now. Someone just chimed in, and I'm curious. Dana says, thank you so much for this. I've tried to get certain locations to play this amazing flick. I couldn't get it done originally. My husband and I are now in our tunics watching this movie right now.
Yay! Cosplayers! Woo!
Wow. That's okay. That's fantastic. I wish I had a Musketeers outfit. Let's see here. What was the other thing?
That looks well enough.
Dave Manley says, I've seen Tim Curry in dozens and dozens of films, but I think my favorite of his is Clue.
Mine too. I have watched Clue I don't know how many times, and it's one of those films where I will warn people, do not watch it with me because I will mimic without thinking.
I had to stop her from shouting. Sorry. Dana P says, I grew up watching this movie and loving it. Well, hey, guess what? I did too. So you're in good company.
Julie Delpy looks so like young.
Wow.
Like, yeah, you barely recognize her in this.
She's
if it wasn't for the smile, I wouldn't have guessed it.
Mm-hmm.
And she's pretty, which doesn't help, which doesn't hurt.
It kind of reminds me of like when you saw like Uma Thurman for the first time in The Adventures of Baron Munchausen.
No, I
Like,
didn't see Uma Thurman for the first time until that cheesy, horrible movie Batman and Robin.
Well, again, another Batman connection. Like,
Yeah.
But yeah, like sometimes when they're just young, they're unrecognizable.
Uma Thurman was young in Batman and Robin. I mean, she kind of still.
But she's always looked the same. Like, I feel like as I've seen her in other projects,
she hasn't aged much.
She doesn't age.
Really? Okay.
It's that Frenchness.
Is it?
I'm hoping.
Speaking of Uma Thurman, did you know that the film that she was in with like a dozen different actors turns the big 3-0 next year, known as Pulp Fiction?
Oh my gosh.
Oh boy,
that's going to be fun, isn't it, Jen?
Wow.
Do you like Pulp Fiction, Jen?
I actually, that's one I haven't seen, and it's on my list.
Ooh.
If you watch it, I think you would enjoy it. And if you want to be in on the 30th anniversary of that, we can potentially add you to the guest list.
Let me get it in first.
You gotta watch
I can hear it with sound.
It's not until late next year, so you got plenty of time, but definitely watch it.
For his anniversary.
Yeah, for me, it's my favorite Tarantino film. So watch Pulp Fiction; it's really funny.
Man, the locations. I
know, really nice buildings. I got to tell you.
There he is.
Is this Musketeer headquarters? No, this was Musketeer.
What Musketeer headquarters?
Oh, you mean it's been moved?
See, you guys keep saying the lines before they show up on my screen. I'm like, spoiler.
Again, when you watch movies with me, if they're Disney, if you don't like people talking or mimicking, don't watch with me.
Yeah, Jen and I are.
Just don't.
Jen and I are pretty good at this thing, aren't we, Jen?
If you put on Beauty and the Beast, forget it.
Jeez. I don't know if I can quote all 90 minutes of Beauty and the Beast, but I can sure as heck try.
Oh, I could.
I could. Jen, I could if you put me to the test on it. I don't know.
Oh my gosh, I forgot he followed him all the way there.
Oh yeah, he finds his way
And then-
honestly.
And then his voice just keeps cracking.
Don't you know? The Doctor knows time and space. He can show up
There
anywhere.
he is. Come on, out of my way, man. Out of my way.
Imagine if he did his version like this. Or like, pansy like. Trying to think of like the proper way to describe him.
Oh, the stunts. So good.
Oh, big jump.
I'm not sure who this is. Let me see. Dave says we need to team up with Baron Munchausen and Radagast the Brown. What?
Wow.
Wait, what are you? Anyway. Dave Manley says my favorite Disney animated films are Aladdin and The Emperor's New Groove.
Also excellent choices. Up.
There
There he is. What up,
Excuse me.
Oliver?
Bulldogs!
My
This
favorite.
smash was a
My
gift
man.
to me from the Queen of America. There's no Queen of America. Beg to differ, infant. We're on quite intimate terms unless you could prove otherwise. Here's my proof. Oh, I see. It's Twit of the Month. Come to challenge mighty Porthos. There's at me with a sword. Don't tell me you've never heard of me.
God damn it.
Little pimple. Maybe
I love one of the things I love about Oliver's performance is the way he chooses to use his inflection on certain words, because that's why it's so memorable.
Back to my day.
Oh, I know who this is.
Yeah, look what happens to him 2 seconds later after he does this.
I mean, look at the costuming. Like, this is even like on the dark side for Disney.
Yeah, this is grown folk stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Although they do describe the movie as a romance.
Yeah. I can hear her in my head.
It won't happen again. Lies!
As he kneels down on the floor. Spiritually, okay, that's what you want to call it. Sure. Yes, I'm married. Here it comes. Second thought, God's busy.
God's awfully busy. Out of my way. Out of my way. Dave Manley's quoting along with us with the movie with Little Pimple. And then he says, Charlie counts as 2.5 musketeers.
You know what? Out of all the Charlies I've seen, this is my favorite. He just does so well in this role, I think.
You mean actors whose first name is Charlie, or just like,
Charlie Sheen.
Of all of Charlie Sheen's roles, this is your favorite one?
Yeah.
Wow. High praise.
I'm just, even to this day, like, his performance holds up really well.
Okay. I mean, one of his best dramatic performances.
Do they all have it like rented out or something? Like
3 duels in one day.
Like I'll get the 12 o'clock session. You get the 1 o'clock session. Do with it as you will.
Maybe behind the Cardinal Monastery at 2 o'clock.
Oh, here she is.
We can't be there after 3 o'clock. There's cleaning.
Yeah. And this was my introduction to Gabrielle Anwar as an actress because I didn't know she was in Son of a Woman until I saw it many years later. And then she ended up being one of the highlights of the hit TV series Burn Notice.
Which I did not put together that was her.
Yes, she was
She's
Fiona.
also-
She was Fiona.
She's also in the show The Tudors and plays Henry VIII's sister, who
Really?
and she acts alongside Henry Cavill, who is also in that show.
She worked with Superman?
Yep.
Ooh. Okay, Jen, I got to go back and watch that now.
European look to her. So I mean, she does play well with period.
Yeah, and by the way, Gabrielle Anwar doesn't seem to age either.
No, like even in the Tudors, I thought she blossomed really well. And for me, this was also my first Gabrielle as well.
Yep. Isn't it amazing how Jen and I were introduced to all these different actors in the same movie at the same time? It's simpatico. It's great. So,
serendipitous, I think the word is.
Serendipitous, yeah. Sorry, my words are being messy. Let's see here. Dave Manley says she was fantastic on Burn Notice. Yes, she was. Gabriel Anwar was fantastic on Burn. If no one has ever seen the hit TV series Burn Notice, go ahead and stream it because it's a really good show.
Here's where I'm going to get nerdy. This actor is in a lot of period dramas, including a Jane Austen film.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Northanger Abbey.
Jeez. Is there anything this guy hasn't done?
I'm looking at this guy and I'm thinking, berries and cream, berries and cream, berries and cream.
Really? Okay.
He looks just like him, yes. That hair, God.
Just like the guy.
Oy.
I used to think this guy was Elijah Wood because there's some similarities, and I thought that can't be Elijah Wood. That's not Elijah Wood. I'm like, no, it's not Elijah Wood.
No, it's not Elijah Wood. But what is happening is that we are currently at the 21 minutes and 40-second mark in the movie known as Three Musketeers. If you're just joining us, we're celebrating the movie by watching it. So if you want to join us and watch the movie along with us, please do so in a physical media or a streaming service. Cue it up to that point and share your favorite memories or questions or comments or anything else in the comments, in the chat. Don't forget to like and share this with everyone you know. And thank you once again to both Jen and Ryan for being here on this episode.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, it's a fun trip down memory lane.
You saw that little smirk when Kingsley here got a little bossy.
You got a little manly. He was like, I like that.
He's becoming as troublesome as
I may not look like I skipped leg day, but
he's a foolish boy and barely that. What was the question? Oh yeah, Dave Manley goes on to say my favorite Charlie Sheen movies are little scene movie known as Men at Work and The Arrival.
Love Men at Work. Him working with his brother Emilio.
Yeah.
Never seen The Arrival though.
I haven't seen The Arrival either. I don't think I've seen Men at Work all the way through. Dave Manley says he does look a lot like Elijah Wood.
Similarities.
If he were in that certain age range. And then he goes on to say, highly recommend the Elijah Wood mystery comedy series Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency.
Yeah. Okay. I think we talked about that on Fandom.
Did we?
Which episode?
The first episode. I think someone had mentioned Dirk Gently.
Holistic Detective Agency with Elijah Wood. Okay.
Oh, there they are waiting.
What is this? We're having a private party celebrating the demise of the Musketeers. Go away. Kiefer Sutherland has such a commanding presence about him as an actor. I think he does.
Here.
What was that yell? Because he got one eye.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's petty.
So petty.
So petty, he's Richard Petty.
I understood that reference. You can, of course, refuse, become outlaws, hunted men, when I come along quietly. For old times. He's so good at playing antagonistic characters.
He is. There he is!
Oh, it's a chandelier. I thought it was a wheel.
Did I miss anyone?
Hijinks.
Did I miss anyone? He brought down the house. I was trying to hit Rochefort.
I never understood. Did they have these kinds of characterizations in like older versions of the Musketeers? Like
no.
Or like.
Wait, ask that one more time.
No, I'm saying like the way Athos, Porthos, and Aramis are have their like unique caricature. Is that something that's always been prevalent with their characters, or is this just something that Disney decided, hey, let's do them up like this?
Rochefort.
There was another set of Musketeers movies that came out years ago. Richard Chamberlain is one of the Musketeers. I believe he plays Athos. I think there is difference similar to this, but not like this. And I think since this movie has come out, all the other adaptations of the Musketeers, I think they try to play it off from this moment forward. Because there's a British TV series of the Three Musketeers that was done in the mid 2000s, and you can see the differences between the Musketeers there as well.
Oh, what a twist! I'm fighting him.
Until 2:00.
Not until 2:00. Let's get on with it then. I don't want you to be late for your future engagements. By the way, when it comes to Three Musketeers, if you want a pseudo sequel to this movie, about 4 or 5 years later, there was a film called The Man in the Iron Mask with Leo DiCaprio.
That's another all-time favorite of mine.
Gabriel Byrne. You also had Jeremy freaking Irons, who's a boss, and you had oh gosh, I lost it. Who was he? Played Cyrus the Virus.
People were like surprised that they went with like a band.
John
of
Malkovich.
So much older than
John
these
Malkovich. Yeah, John Malkovich was in it. I just did a rewatch of that, Jen, The Man in the Iron Mask. You can stream it for free with ads on YouTube, by the way, for those of you wondering where you can find that movie to stream. It's actually a good sequel to like what would have happened if these characters had aged 30 years later. Like, what would their lives be like? You know what I mean?
It also shows the progression of what happens to France over time with
the monarchy.
The monarchy and the corruption of King Louis, and then you have all those Louis that come forth. For me though, that was not my first Leonardo DiCaprio, but for me, that was the first time where, as a youngster watching a film, where I saw Leo's performance between when you see the scene of him playing the two different twins, and I was just blown away by his performance. Like, it's like when it clicked, like, wow, that's actually really good acting. That is astounding.
Yeah.
When it clicked.
I'm sure he learned a lot from the veteran actors on set for Man in the Iron Mask, where Leo DiCaprio was at the time.
Look at that cast, too.
Yeah, we are prepared to resist you. Sorry, Porthos has got some of the best lines in this movie. Dave Manley says it wasn't easy for Porthos to climb onto that chandelier, as we saw earlier ago. So there you go.
I don't think it's easy for anyone to climb onto a chandelier.
No, it's
Things
not.
aren't exactly known for being stable.
I think one of the things I appreciate about this film is that the choreography of the sword fighting is actually pretty good and a bit more realistic to a degree.
I would venture to say so. I'm sure the actors and the producers did a lot of horseback riding training, sword fight training, stunt training for this film. So I'm sure there was a lot of training done. And honestly, I got to be honest with you. I actually like Kiefer Sutherland with a beard and long hair. I really like him like that. I'm not a big fan of. I mean, he's got a regular like haircut and stuff, which is great for 24 because you're a federal agent. You got to look a certain way as Jack Bauer. But years later, I'm thinking, you know what, Kiefer, just let yourself go, man. You grew the beard out for that Western movie you shot back in 2015 with Forsaken. So why don't you just grow your hair out again? Like it's a good look on you, man.
Ooh.
To be honest, all three of them have like great faces for goatees.
Yeah, especially Oliver Platt. That's all natural. That's all the I don't think Charlie Sheen's hair is real in this movie. I think he's wearing a wig. But
I always wanted that dagger.
Everything that happens with Oliver Platt's character, that's all natural. And Kiefer Sutherland grew his hair out and grew a beard, so that's natural too. But Charlie Sheen, I think, is wearing a wig.
God, I love my work.
That poor guy's nose.
Yeah. Let's see here. My favorite sword fighting movies are The Court Jester and The Princess Bride.
Princess Bride has brilliant fight choreography. They
I'm
really.
almost wondering if maybe the same guy worked on both Princess Bride and this. They weren't like too far apart in years.
Yeah, maybe. David Mamina, our good friend, says, I can't stay and watch, but I wanted to show the love and support. Thank you, David. Good to see you, man. Hope everything's well in your neck of the woods. Give my best to the future missus of the house. And hope everything's going well for you in your new book that's out right now called Death or Valentis, which you can find at maminabooks.com. So go ahead and check that out if you're a fan of dark fantasy type stories.
Congratulations on the new book. That's fantastic.
Yep, just came out a few weeks ago. So congratulations to you, David. We're happy for you, brother. Hope you get a lot of people buying the book.
Sorry, yes, great for the book. I just saw a man die, but
yeah. and of all people, Charlie Sheen is praying over this man.
He plays a musketeer priest. Of course, he's going to pray.
Yeah, it's funny how D'Artagnan's not sure what everyone's doing in this movie half the time. He says, "What's he doing?" Last rites. Aramis takes death very seriously. Was he a priest? He used to be one of the cardinal's students.
That's really telling.
Boy, you arrogant, hot-tempered, and entirely too bold. Like that, you remind me of me.
Don't encourage him.
Yeah, don't encourage him. David Mamina says,
Yes, I wanna
thanks,
keep it
guys.
for a reason.
You're welcome, David. You're welcome, man. Wish you all the best. Wake up, boy. Musketeers are just a dream.
Dude, you just have a lot of unresolved trauma. That's all that is.
Wake up, boy. He's so good. You know, honestly, did you catch Kiefer Sutherland's voiceover performance in the crime thriller Phone Booth?
No, I didn't.
Okay,
Never
so
watched
Phone Booth is directed by the same guy who directed The Lost Boys,
Ooh.
and Batman Forever, and The Client. So if you're looking for a really good thriller, watch Phone Booth with Colin Farrell and Kiefer Sutherland and Forrest Whitaker. Okay? You might want to write that one down, Jen.
10-4.
And I believe it is streaming for free on YouTube with ads.
Oh, I forgot about this part. Look at this.
Long live the Musketeers. He's
You're
mine.
supposed to use lances, guys.
Well, they're not using lances in this case, are they, Ryan? They're using swords.
I know. If it was using a lance, he might have been safer.
Oh, well, yeah. Speaking of lances, I just watched this movie again for the first time in a long time. Does anyone remember the Heath Ledger film, 10 Things I Hate About You?
Yes.
Good
Yeah.
film.
That was a fun movie to revisit. And by the way, Julia Stiles and Larissa Oleynik, a.k.a. The Secret World of Alex Mack as sisters, that's like perfect casting. So, well done.
No, it's like if you look at them now, you probably wouldn't see it, but back then, when everyone was all young and fresh faced, it worked.
Definitely worked, especially with Larissa Oleynik and Julia Stiles. Both actresses were up and coming at the time. It's a nice looking sword, by the way, that he's holding. The one with the gold hilt. Thank you. Yes. It's called a lance. Hello, says Dave Mattingly.
Great line from A Knight's Tale.
I've seen A Knight's Tale, and I find it to be quite humorous.
Another all-time favorite of mine.
It is?
Yep, it's actually on my top 10.
It is on your top 10.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Oh, by the way, Jen, you, me, and a few of our friends need to sit down and discuss what films would make our top 10 list.
Yes, we do.
We do. We need to sit down and look over those lists. You, me, and a few others that we were talking to earlier at some point. We need to get them all together and just discuss, well, what movies are in your top 10 list and why? I'm just curious, you know? We should do that. It's got to happen.
Be a good discussion.
That would be a really good discussion. And Jen, I'm actually curious what other films would make your top 10 list. I'm very curious.
I'm not going to say it now.
No, you're not going to say it now, but I want you to start thinking about it and putting it on sheets of paper if you have to.
Oh, this guy always creeped me out. Oh my gosh.
He doesn't have any lines, does he? He just grunts.
No, he just grunts.
Oh, but speaking of little pimples.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that right, Ryan? Yeah.
I always called him the bogeyman.
Really?
When I was a kid, I called him the bogeyman.
I'd call him Oxypad.
Either that or when you say bogeyman, I was thinking boogeyman.
Yeah, but when I was a kid, I had a thing with pronunciation. I always confused my V's and B's.
Oh, never mind. Okay, understandable.
You're good.
By the way, guess what movie I saw the other night?
Hold on.
Uh-oh. Gotta do some digging here.
I'm not gonna look at my phone. That'll be cheating.
Yeah, it's cheating. What movie did I watch last night for the first time ever? Never saw.
Okay, I'm gonna admit I didn't see that post. I apologize.
Okay, so I watched a little indie film from Disney last night called Lilo and Stitch for the first time.
For the first time?
First time ever, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw it.
Leave me here till I can die.
I saw the movie. Yeah.
Oh, Lilo and Stitch is so good.
Here's my thing. I think the film is fine, but it's not one of the better Disney films like some people make it out to be, but it's fine. But the best parts are the end. Like, I mean, there are good parts in between that, but like the best part for me was the end with spoiler alert, him finally getting to talk and communicate his feelings. And honor means family. You know, it's yeah. Good voice cast, by the way. I noticed that the older sister was Tia Career. Yeah, she was the voice. I thought that was fascinating. So, Anyway, I'm getting a little off base. Dave Manley says the correct answer is Lilo and Stitch. Yes, Dave, thank you. For those of you wondering what the Bantha Fodder is going on, we are celebrating the 30th anniversary of 1993's The Three Musketeers, starring Tim Curry and company. We are currently at the 35-minute and 47-minute mark, or 35 minutes, 49-second mark. Please queue up your copy on a physical media or streaming service. Watch the movie along with us and share your favorite thoughts or favorite moments, quotes, stories, anything like that in the comments section or in the chat. Don't forget to like and share this with everyone you know. And we thank you for being with us. And now we're introduced to My Lady de Winter by Rebecca de Mornay.
Yeah, who just threatened Tim Curry with circumcision.
Yeah.
Because Disney.
Yeah. What did you think of that line, though, where she says, with a flick of my wrist, I could change your religion?
I think it's a really great line because it shows that she is well aware who she is and the power she has and and how she has strong boundaries, if you will.
Yeah, he was Judge Frollo before Judge Frollo.
Ooh. Good point, Ryan. Speaking of another Disney classic, The Hunchback of Notre Dame is one of the best, somewhat underrated Disney movies that's ever been made.
Oh no, it is. Even the content in that one for an animated film, you're like, dark. How is this a Disney film?
It got dark in that movie, didn't it, Jen?
Well,
especially his song that he sings about Esmeralda.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like France just happens to be the backdrop for a lot of dark stuff.
When you tell no respect for a man of God.
Beauty takes place in France. The cursed man who was the prince who would have been king. Yes.
All the noise from the... What's your name, boy? D'Artagnan. D'Artagnan.
Just anytime Tim Curry says, boy.
Ah, yes. Your father was a musketeer. He died while protecting the king. The dream of every warrior.
Oh, damn it, Ryan, so I can make me go back and forth.
Die nobly for king and country. I'm sorry, Ryan. I just think Tim Curry's a brilliant actor.
That's because
he is. Let the man act. I can't. I'm never being let back on.
I'm sorry, Ryan. I just find myself quoting things like Jen finds herself quoting half this movie.
Don't put on Ever After.
Yeah. By the way, Jen, I want to let you know something. First time I ever saw that movie was about a month or two ago, and I absolutely loved it.
Honestly, out of all of the adaptation of Cinderella, that is one of the best.
I think it's fantastic, personally.
Again, it takes place in France.
And Jen, not only the location of that movie, but Drew Barrymore was fantastic.
It is one of her best films. She is brilliant in that. And then Angelica Houston as the stepmother.
She was born to play that role.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
And and she played Morticia in the original Addams Family movies, and then she was also the crazy witch lady in The Witches. So.
Oh, if I can make a recommendation, there is a YouTube channel called Cinema Therapy, and two best friends. One is a licensed therapist, and the other best friend is a actual filmmaker. They actually watch movies together and talk about filmmaking and different points of conversation from a therapeutic perspective. And they did Gomez and Morticia as having a healthy marriage relationship.
Boy, that sounds
good, for sure.
That sounds twisted. Don't torture yourself, Gomez. That's my job. Angelica Houston, well done, by the way, for that role.
Love you, Angelica.
Angelica was great in Ever After, too. If you haven't seen Ever After, watch it. Dave Mattingly says, The Man Who Knew Too Little, The Martian, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Raising Arizona. Oh, my gosh. Oh, he's referring to what his top 10 movies would be if he had to put together a list. I'm sorry.
Oh, those are good.
He also goes on to say Big Hero 6, Big Trouble in Little China, Clue. The Fifth Element with Gary Oldman, who we were talking about earlier.
A great film.
And The Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. Wow.
All right. I see you.
That's a interesting...
That's a good list.
Top 10 list, I gotta say.
Oh,
here's Gerard.
Don't lose your head. Aubrey Cavett says, I popped in, but I can't stay for long. It's my partner's birthday. My favorite movie moment is any of Oliver Platt's speaking moments.
We were just talking about that earlier. Happy birthday to your partner. Have a good time.
I hope you enjoy. I hope you and your loved ones enjoy themselves, Aubrey. Thanks for popping in. Dave Manley says Cinema Therapy is a great YouTube channel. Okay.
Oh, it really is.
I might have to look that up, Jen, or you might have to send me a link here in a minute.
I will send you a link.
Please do. I want to look at it. Thank you. What happened? Oh yeah, he punched him. I'm sorry.
Like the fix
Look
is
at this.
there.
Boom.
Ooh,
Gives him
gun in a Bible. Like
gives him a crossover. Oh, by the way, when Oliver Platt looked at him in the mask and says, "This axe was a gift to me from the Tsarina of Tokyo," I'm like, where are you finding
when
this
he brings up random information of things he's received from random people.
he's a pirate. He's been on the seas. He's just happy this land.
But here's the thing: like, where does he find a axe from the Tsarina of Tokyo? That's so random. I don't know. My.
I just have to go recognize America earlier. Run! Run quickly! Move your legs, horses. Ooh. Wow, Cardinal lives big, doesn't he? Got the wine, got the gold. Chances are there's like a switch in there. You flip it on, the mood lighting starts happening.
Toss the coins, lad. People are hungry. Take it over, Ryan.
Yeah.
Do you have a moment that just sticks
Right,
out to
right.
you,
No, of
Ryan,
course.
from the film?
Just think of the people. Menace. They must be stopped. See, I can do it too.
Do you have a moment from this film that is your absolute favorite that just...
I mean, when I think about this film, there is like the one scene that happens later on with Kiefer Sutherland and Milady as they part. I don't know why that sticks with me, but it always does. Probably because it's such like a dark, sentimental moment in what is exceptionally a swashbuckling romance. So it just felt so out of place and yet done so well that it stuck with me.
Oh, I agree. And even the dialogue between the two, because you really get the weight of the history between the two and the sacrifices and choices they had to make. And they were also, because they feel like I didn't want to make those choices, but then I felt compelled to because I needed to, and led to this. So
Exactly. And I mean, this is a great, fun adventure, but it is nice to have like those deeper rooted points that almost make you want to learn more about the characters, even though you are basically saying one of them and their untimely demise. Makes you want to like read the books almost, God forbid.
oh yeah, you definitely want to go read the books.
But yeah, people are being shot and killed
This is
while they are drinking and driving, essentially.
Oh yeah, and here's it's giving the information about the cardinal.
My God, he knows everything.
He overheard the plan.
I know, but his memory is exceptional. Someone's that people read it off a script.
Turn here.
There's really no other way to.
All
Okay,
right, that's
next
it.
time you drive.
Next time you drive. Couldn't help it. It's too much fun.
Frog, no.
I think the score in this movie is good too.
Who did the score? I want to look that up. I can't remember.
Oh gosh,
I'm
it was
gonna look-
wasn't it in the opening credits? I just missed the name.
Yeah, no, it was. I'm going to look it up real quick because I
I don't know
do
who it
agree
was.
that the music in this film is actually very good.
Disney has used that music more than just for this movie, though I think it was created for this film.
I don't know who it was. That's so weird.
Let me see.
God, the landscapes though.
Wow.
And this was before they had like drone cameras.
Mhm.
All you
It's
had was like
beautifully shot.
Yeah. Yep. It looks good. It was shot really well as a film. So yeah, I like it. I think the score is good too. Whoever did the score it wasn't Thomas Newman.
I'm looking. Give me one moment.
And it wasn't Alan Silvestri.
No, but like back in the 90s, they were just really pretty good with like
Scoring
period
movies.
I mean, the 90s also gave us like what? Last of the Mohicans, Braveheart,
Yeah.
things that really had to like take you someplace rather than it be like a CGI background.
Mm-hmm. There's some good ones out there too. So, Porthos the brandy. Don't let it go to waste. Well, he's kind of letting it go to waste because he's pouring it all over the carriage right now. Did you notice that?
Genre, keywords, details.
Well, I mean, better the brandy than the wine, of course.
And then he takes like a smidge of gunpowder, I think it was, and then he just puts it in the carriage. Up the hill, they're over there. Where else would they be? I don't know.
I can't find the.
Fireball.
It should be listed on IMDb somewhere.
That's where I am. I'm not seeing anything.
That's a bummer. Maybe Stephen Herek composed the score.
Oh, it's headed for the powder wagon.
It's headed for the powder.
But that would just be there.
He said powder wagon because it's on the left side of the grounds. Oh gosh.
All right.
I love how like some of the barrels were just like on the other side of the road,
and then they actually just bounced on top of like 3 other tents, right?
Like screw it, just blow it all up.
Which, by the way, I think the 90s was known for having lots of explosions in action movies. Look at Speed, for example.
Oh, Speed's a good one.
Oh, speaking of, wait, I don't know if this is true or not. No, actually, I think it is. I think next year is the 30th anniversary of Speed.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Which means we're going to have to do a watch-along for that, Jen.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
If the viewership goes below 55 viewers per second.
Yeah, pop quiz, hot shot. What was this? Dennis Hopper was so good in that. Everybody was good. I mean, Speed, everybody was great in that movie. Everybody. It's fantastic. It's one of the best action movies ever made.
First introduction to Sandra Bullock.
Mine too.
It was called The Net with that girl from the bus. First time I ever saw Sandy B was in the film that should have gotten more attention than it did at the time, and it was called The Net. So. But
Michael,
on the end. Oh.
I'm sorry, Jen. What was that?
Music is by Michael Kamen.
Oh,
Kamen.
Yeah, Kamen. I know him. Yeah.
That's who did the music.
Well, he's done some good stuff in his filmography, if you know what I mean. So, Dave Manley goes on to say the Cardinals team really took a powder there.
Oh my gosh, look at all.
Wow, nice one, Dave. He also says that Speed did in fact come out in the year of 1994, which means we're going to be doing 30th anniversary watch-alongs for both Pulp Fiction and Speed, among other movies. So there you go. Oh, he also goes on to say my favorite character in Speed was Alan Ruck, a.k.a. Ferris Bueller's friend Cameron as a bus passenger. Ooh, first subject. Very good. Very good indeed. Let the schooling begin.
Oh, God.
I was about to say, those wenches look a lot better than they should be for that period.
I know, right?
Yeah, no, their clothes are really pretty.
Should think you're weak. If it's comical, should think you're a clown. You with me?
That's where Disney comes in. It's like, man, we'll just do this.
And a musketeer is never weak, and rarely even a clown. Your first kiss must be all the things that you are.
And he falls over.
No, I think the girl does. He just falls. See, she falls over, but he follows suit, Jen.
And now Miss looks on like, oh, right. Of course.
See? You may speak first if you like. Your name, her name, endearment or two. Trust us. Words are a complete waste of time. Sensitive point.
I'm gonna like write this down. Hold on.
Wait, no, you have to wait for Athos. He's gonna argue.
Hold on.
The right words can leave a more lasting impression than 1,000 of Porthos's kisses. Shall I demonstrate?
Oh, here.
Listen to this poem, Ryan.
Take notes.
He's taking them. Morning hues.
Oh yeah, poetry angle.
With a pure desire to worship.
This is how he scored all those points for us. Not the Porthos way, the Aramis way.
I love Porthos just like shaking his head towards D'Artagnan.
He's like, nope, this doesn't work. Your essence warms the morning air.
Shakespeare.
Aramis. Oh, he says cheating. He says cheating. It was beautiful. And then the girl just falls into his arms. Very well, D'Artagnan. Your turn.
It works.
Takes a drink.
Puts his drink down.
Stands
Gets up out of his chair and makes his move, Jen. He makes
As he's essentially just coming off of puberty.
You think so, Ryan?
I mean, D'Artagnan is still relatively younger than the others.
And then he's looking at Aramis for lines.
I think, though, in the book, D'Artagnan is the youngest of all of them.
Mm-hmm. He is. And then Aramis is like, "You're messing up my lines, man." Bravo! The boys in action.
Porthos way. Porthos way.
Ooh.
A lively tune.
I'm inspired to dance.
I love Oliver.
Well, let me ask you this, Jen. In a serious scenario, if Oliver Platt and all these people were in that room, would you dance along with them?
Of course.
Okay. Do you like this kind of music, though?
Well, I have a background in classical ballet, so yeah, I'm going to dance to it.
Rock on. There you go. What was... Oh, geez, Dave. He said something very strange in the chat. This is actually good music. I wouldn't mind dancing to this, by the way.
No, it's very good.
I wouldn't mind dancing to it. Anybody else? I don't know. Jen and I would dance to it. We get in a circle with Porthos and just dance around the circle. Isn't that right, Jen?
Mm-hmm.
You fight like a man.
The background.
Let's see what you can drink like one. I'll drink anything you put in front of me. Famous last words. What should we drink to?
Again, he's got to be young. You know, be like that. It's like, I'll drink anything you give me.
Let me tell you a little story.
I will say, though, out of all with the exception of the Man in the Iron Mask, because the Musketeers are older, but out of all the D'Artagnans I've seen, I think I enjoy Chris's performance the most.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I've seen other adaptations, and of course, the older films that came before this one, those are classics. You can't really touch those, but for a newer rendition and how he portrays D'Artagnan's character at this age, I really like it, because I feel like with other adaptations that have come after this, I think they make him a little bit too silly sometimes, even though he's young. I mean, I get that he's immature and he has to learn, but I like the balance he does in this.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I could see that. Let's see. For those of you just joining us, we're at the 53 minutes and 07 mark at this time of The Three Musketeers, presented by Walt Disney Pictures, which was released in 1993. So this is the 30th anniversary watch along. If you want to watch the movie along with us, please do on a physical media or a streaming service. Share your favorite moments or comments or questions about it in the chat. Don't forget to like and share this with everyone you know. Thank you to our panelists, and thank you to you who may be watching or tuning in right now. Thank you. Appreciate it. This has been fun so far. This has been a good trip down memory lane. Kiefer Sutherland is very good at dramatic acting and taking moments seriously. He's very good at this.
Very good. Telling
this story about this man who was in love with a girl at one point and it just worked for a minute and then it didn't. It's amazing. It's a tragic story, but it's a great story that he's telling D'Artagnan.
Well, this is what Ryan and I were talking about earlier when you stepped out for a moment, because I asked him what his favorite moment from the film was, and we were talking about dialogue between him and Milady later on, and just the gravity and the weight of the dialogue between those two. So good.
That's actually my favorite moment of the whole movie is Porthos getting punched in the face. I'm dead serious. When he falls through that table right after he just told D'Artagnan that tragic story, he says, "Ooh, may I have a stance?" And then just pops him right in the jaw. And I'm like, that's the best moment of the movie.
And the way he chuckles as he takes a swig.
Yep. Would you stop whistling, please? I'm not whistling. Well, somebody's whistling. Barmaid's kiss made him dizzy.
That so much seemed like the Three Stooges version of the Musketeers. What's that whistle? A cannonball. Then just drops right in front of him.
I hate cannonballs. The Cardinal has a long reach.
Get out of here!
Yeah, because clearly they're about to get destroyed if they stay in that one spot.
Man, that's a real cannon fire, though. Like, they're really setting those things off.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, I love it.
Good stunt choreography, guys. Know what you think?
Very good. Like, no, like, when you really look at this film, the way it holds up from the choreography, the stunts, the costuming.
Practical effects.
Oh, yeah. It's It's top tier.
Yeah. This is why I miss movies that don't make they don't make too many movies anymore with practical effects. Everything has to be CGI'd.
But then the show Andor has a really good balance between both.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, because there's no way you'd be able to make up a town like that
Yeah.
without having like the land proper for it. You couldn't
No.
just CGI the background. It's too
I'm
close.
assuming.
no.
Yeah, I'm assuming there was a lot of work done to make it look practical in Andor.
See, this is really, really over the line for Disney. This whole scene.
Julie Delpy and Gabriel Anwar having a talk.
Talking about D'Artagnan.
I don't understand why I feel this way. Really meant for a moment.
Moments all it may take.
I remember when I was a kid, I used to think, why is she sitting in milk?
It's not. Well, I don't think it's necessarily milk, but it is.
That is some thin-looking milk.
Is
I know.
true, but in this case, it's a bubble bath. I want to say that she's in, or am I wrong?
Well, just oils and stuff. They didn't really have like soap back then, where it just like
Yeah, they put different things in the water.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I thought it was.
Well,
A,
there was bubble bombs. There was these
I thought it was a bubble
essential
bath.
oils and stuff.
Wow, I didn't know they used oils back then. Jeez.
Oh yeah. Well, a lot of the Europeans, I'm sure you know, they really didn't believe in bathing and their bathing rituals, if you will. They didn't do it very often, so
Wow.
they had to do a lot of things to the water to help them make them smell good.
I didn't know that. Okay, well, you're learning something about history when it comes to bathing back in the olden times.
Like, see, this is really like
Yeah, you couldn't
really over the line.
you couldn't get away with pretty much anything that happens in this movie 30 years later. You couldn't.
They would never do this now, I don't think.
No,
Never.
No, they wouldn't. I'm with you. I'm just saying that there's things.
I
happen.
mean, if you were a religious figure,
But then again, it's Tim Curry, so.
But then I feel like I've seen him do this in other roles where he's put in a role character that's shady and then always pushing the line with other characters.
I'm afraid the king has dropped himself into a deep melancholy. We have to show France who is king.
like seriously, is there anything he says in this movie where he doesn't sound mischievous?
I don't think so.
I've always said that you are as intelligent as you are beautiful.
Oh, you're such a creep. Oh,
Yeah, but back then, creeping it.
I'm not worthy of such a compliment.
Even then, they knew how to handle it back then.
Ah, but
oh, they did.
I bet she wish she had a dagger like my lady did.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
She turned the cardinal into a pigeon.
Which I don't think did we talk about this last year? I don't think we did. No, we didn't. We didn't do a 30th anniversary watch along for Home Alone 2 with Tim Curry. So
Oh,
we didn't do it. Yeah, we didn't do it.
Oh, okay.
That would have been
happens in my neck of the woods.
that would have been fun. That would have been fun if we did, Jen.
Oh man, that would have been a blast.
Especially because him as the concierge was hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
Front, please.
My France. I mean my dick.
This is the concierge, sir. Anybody remember that line? It's so good.
Yes.
Just remember, kings come and kings go. But one thing remains the same, and that is me. So, this is great.
I mean, until you die, obviously. But
Yeah, get out of here.
Oh, look at this.
Riding through the landscapes here and the horseback riding. Man, the costumes look so good.
I mean, I love it. You can tell they're really riding because there's dirt like flung up on their hats, on their costumes. Like they're really riding. I love it.
They took it very seriously with this movie.
They did.
You're a good man, D'Artagnan, much like your father was.
Wait, you knew my father?
Only
Oh,
by
wow, you did say that,
reputation.
all right.
His death was mourned by all musketeers. How did he die? This is basically a Star Wars thing here.
But it's a common trope though.
Yeah.
It's a common trope.
Boom! The horse winds up dead. And by the way, they always say at the end of each and every single movie, no animals were harmed during the making of this picture.
Well,
Yeah, but
that was pretty convincing.
Gunshot in the neck.
It did look convincing, though, Jen. I'll give you that, because as soon as you hear the shot, there's a blood coming out of the horse's neck, so you're just like, oh man, they just killed a horse in a freaking Disney movie. Like, no.
Like,
No.
see, it looks so good that I can't even comprehend how they would do that with a practical horse. I mean, it's really good.
Go or I would shoot you myself. Here, take these. Dave Mattingly says the horse didn't really die; it was only acting.
Yeah, horse is a good actor.
I mean, if the horse is a good actor, if you want to talk about.
By the way, just poking holes in the story here.
Which part?
How would he have known that his father was that? Like, all you know is the guy's name, D'Artagnan. You don't know his last name. Don't know where he's necessarily from. So how were you able to piece together who the father was?
I mean, I guess it's going off the dialogue they just had where he says only by reputation, because if he's named after his father, that means technically maybe his father was senior and he's junior.
I mean, that would make sense, but I mean, is that how they did it back then? Because none of these people have last names.
None of them do.
Well, it's like if we go with the King Louis the First, King Louis the Second, King Louis the Fourth, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And people were known. If you look at the history of names, people were known by their fathers and the trade that their fathers were in. So to me, it does make sense that depending on D'Artagnan's father with the Musketeers and his reputation, and even though like he's not going around saying like, I am D'Artagnan, the son of D'Artagnan, the
whatever.
Right, like I could be like, my name is Jennifer. I am the daughter of George the tailor. And people will be like, oh, you're the tailor's kid. Got it.
I am D'Artagnan, son of Dartboard.
Yeah, maybe I don't know.
There you go.
But, you know, some things work, some things don't. And there are definitely, yeah, no one has any last names in this movie. And same thing with the Man in the Iron Mask. It's the same story. Really, hardly any characters in that movie had any last names. But it's a good movie if you're looking for like a pseudo sequel to this version of the Three Musketeers. Just go and watch The Man in the Iron Mask.
I remember after watching The Man in the Iron Mask and then watching this again and just looking at the Queen and Constance, and I'm like, wow, he's gonna fall for the Queen and have twins after this. That's messed up.
Oh yeah, now I know what you're getting at. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That some things happened. What is it Dave Mattingly just said? D'Artagnan, son of Darth Vader. Yeah.
D'Artagnan, I am the son of Anakin Darth Vader Skywalker. Fear me.
I can just see D'Artagnan being like, that's not true. It's impossible.
Oh.
No!
You know, I don't use this meme anymore, but I used to post it after every single weekend when I was younger, where it's Vader and Luke scene on Bespin, right? Cloud City. And he says, Luke, the weekend is over. And Luke says, no, that's impossible. The weekend is over.
The one that's my favorite is when Disney and Lucas came to an agreement of the selling of all of Star Wars to
you
Disney.
mean Lucasfilm. Yeah.
Right. Someone put Mickey Mouse's head on top of Darth Vader. I own you. No!
Great when the Simpsons started, mocking the mouse.
Man, that one still cracks me up.
I haven't seen that meme, Jen. You're gonna have to DM that to me. I haven't seen.
I'm gonna do it right now before I forget.
DM that to me. DM that to me because I haven't seen it. But the one meme that pops up, I think, what is it? Every now and again is not the Disney. What was it? The Disney Lucasfilm sign-over. That wasn't that. It was. Oh gosh. Oh man, it had something to do with Star Wars. I'm just trying to think of what it was. Oh,
Brainwaves.
Can't think of it. I lost it. If it comes back, I'll let you know. But there are some really good memes on the internet for those of you wondering. So specifically Star Wars ones, there's like really good memes. So feel free to just Google image the whole thing.
There's a lot of really good Star Wars memes.
Yeah, there are actually more funny ones than I realized that there could be with Star Wars. But yeah,
My favorite is the one where they show Legolas. It says 6 movies, 0 shots missed, and then a stormtrooper sitting at a table holding his helmet in his hand. And it's going, oh.
yes, that's a good one too.
Sorry, I know you two are talking about.
Yeah, Rebecca De Mornay was kind of distracting.
So.
See, like even this is like really over the line.
Yeah, they wouldn't do this, right?
No.
In today's world, is that what we're getting at? Where are my
Yeah.
clothes? They're being dried.
Look at fresh-faced pre-Robin body, Chris O'Donnell.
The actors got in shape for their roles. And for those of you wondering what the Bantha fodder is going on, this is the 30th anniversary watch-along celebration of the Three Musketeers from 1993. We are currently at the 1 hour, 6 minutes, and 13-second mark in the film. If you want to queue up your copy on a physical media or a streaming service, please do so. Watch the movie with us and share your favorite moments with us in the chat or the comments below. And don't forget to like and share this with everyone you know. If you're just joining us for the very first time, welcome. And we hope you enjoy the craziness that is this ride. So, and yes, Rebecca De Mornay looks quite beautiful in certain scenes. That's all I'm going to say. No, I was just going to say that she looks beautiful. That's not wrong.
Punctual.
You're magnificent, glorious, punctual. Sorry, beautiful, nice recovery. But remember, be yourself.
You caught it. Thank you.
Jen, you have. I don't know how many times I've watched Aladdin because I watched it so much as a kid, and I watch it now, and I'm thinking that's my favorite Disney animated film of all time. Period. It's my number one. If we're gonna make a top 10 list of Disney animated movies, Aladdin is my number one, hands down. You're magnificent.
Tell me about this.
Punctual. Beautiful. Nice recovery. So the main. Oh, I got you. So the main thing to learn from that, ladies and gentlemen, is that when you're trying to get someone to be attracted to you, don't tell them that they look punctual. Ever.
Please.
Don't say it.
Just don't do it.
Just say you look magnificent, glorious, beautiful. Just say all that stuff. Or you can pull an Aramis and just drop poetry on them. You know.
I remember when Kate and Leopold came out with Meg Ryan and
was that Hugh Jackman?
Yeah, it was Hugh Jackman. Yeah. There was this at a church I was attending at the time in the youth group. One of the guys walked in. He goes, "I have a message for all the guys in the room. Everyone needs to watch Kate and Leopold and take notes. You'll thank me later."
Oh, the old hairpiece of the dagger thing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then the reveal of the
who she really is, right? Isn't that what?
Yep,
isn't that what?
Shoulder. There it is.
That's the point.
Parker.
Do you mean Peter Parker or just Parker? I'm sorry.
That guy who's just not.
Anyone who's getting Spider-Man references right now? I don't
know nothing of kicks.
Nothing of Spider-Man. Get him out of here. Kill him. No, you can't. But a surprise waits for you. But even Buckingham can't prevent. You're young and vain, but I don't think that you're clever. I know how you love a good adventure. Take him with us.
And he took the bait.
Yeah.
She took the bait.
Is that a green dress that she's wearing?
Yes.
Okay. Man, it's amazing how she just switches from different colored outfits. You know what I mean? She's got a nice wardrobe of clothing.
That's how it was back then. If you had the income or the
means, yeah,
or the supporter, if you will, that was part of the lifestyle. You never wore the same thing twice.
Look at Padme. She wore a different outfit in every single scene that she's in.
And I will still raid that woman's closet.
And I'm sorry, what was that, Jen?
No, what did Ryan say? I want to hear.
I said that and her body double did.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. And I said I would still raid that woman's closet.
Would you?
Oh, yeah.
All 30,000 outfits that are sitting in that closet? Yeah, good for you. Fantastic.
Listen, if we're best friends, here, pick out something. Okay, I'll just take a few.
With the Countess de Winter's a pair to arrive from Paris. Permission to come aboard.
Permission granted.
I wonder who that could be. Anyone notice that? Does anyone notice that? That audio that we just heard a minute ago? Take her out of seat, Captain.
I can't because my
What
balls.
are you, deaf?
What are you, deaf?
And he falls over.
Well,
Dead.
sounds like death.
They're all dead.
Not all of us.
Not all of us. Throws him into the water, which barely... I don't even think that water is like, what, 10 feet deep, maybe?
It's enough for a boat, so it's got to be 20 feet of show, like, for a port.
Okay, never mind. Never mind, Ryan. You're right. It's probably 30 feet deep from where you look at it.
Oliver.
Porthos the pirate. They just jump over the boat, guys. They jump into the water. Pirate.
Yeah, right.
Roger was famous.
I told you I was famous.
Told you I was famous.
Oh, Oliver Platt has so many good lines, doesn't he?
This is one of my favorite moments of
Best fight
Oliver.
scene.
Yes. Yep.
And then look at what's her name? Countess de Winter. She just runs off. What does he think he's going to do? Do you think he's going to drive the boat?
Ooh, good.
He gets hit
throw.
with a cannonball.
He just shot puts him.
Yeah, he does. Literally. That's.
I love it. Here we go.
Oh, here we go.
What is this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did he just cut the switch on him? Is that what... Bye.
Oh, good.
Oh, when you talk about memory, that is strictly this movie.
That guy's out, isn't he? Yeah, he's out. He's out, guys.
Her name is Sabine?
So I guess they got the name for Sabine Wren from this movie. Is that
I
it?
forgot her first name was Sabine. Oh my freak!
Did they get her name
Referred to
from
as
this,
Malay.
Did they get her name from this movie to
Winter,
put her in
just
Star Wars?
You know what? They Easter egg all the time. They're prevalent for Easter egg.
Cardinal Wishler took pity on me. You're the spy. I've learned the value of lies. They've kept me alive.
Until now.
The treaty. Give it to me. No. I will shoot.
God damn it! I still love you. Don't make me kill you.
Be kind. Aim for my heart. Boy, this just got real serious.
Yeah, it did.
Like real dramatic.
Like the weight of it, the way they delivered their lines. I will not be so kind. Oh, so good.
She's been captured, I believe, is what happened here.
Oh, and they got the treaty.
They got the treaty. The treaty outlines Richard's plan to forge an alliance with Buckingham. No mention of the king? None. However, demonstration of the cardinal's power. A demonstration.
The slow pushing.
Party.
Love it.
What kind of demonstration? I don't know. I know someone who does.
Man, the locations they film in. Jeez.
She
So
dies.
good.
She
That's
dies
so
in the
good.
morning. Oh, this is real serious.
All natural.
It gets so dark. This movie gets so dark sometimes.
Again, Disney.
It's Disney, guys.
It's from the golden era of Disney, especially with live action.
Well, Dave Manley points out Oliver Platt's wave really sells the whole scene.
It
Oh, it sells the character for sure.
Do you think that was improv or was that in the script?
Oh, I know this just from filmmaking. That lighting that just grazes across the upper half of the head,
Oh, it's so good.
sparkling the eyes, but leaving everything else in shadows, showing the depth of the character. Oh, little nuances like this.
The intentionality of the cinematography is so good.
I think Oliver Platt improv'd the wave in some of his lines in the movie.
Thank you for answering my question.
I think he improv'd a little bit. I don't think he improv'd a lot because they were.
I can't imagine someone thinking, "Oh, he should do this in the script."
No, I think Oliver improv'd some of his stuff on set. I don't know if that's true or not, but if it is, I wouldn't be surprised because Oliver Platt just seems like the kind of guy who can improv.
Oh yeah.
When the script is not to like, maybe he doesn't like everything that he's supposed to do, so he just throws in something in there extra. I don't know. If someone wants to do some research on that, let me know. I don't know.
Well, it's like when Robin Williams did the Genie. He did the script verbatim, what they asked him to do, and then after he did everything, he went, can I do my thing now?
Yeah.
And then they gave him free reign. And
Yeah.
that's what ended up in the movie.
And now there's like 30 minutes of outtakes or deleted scenes of him in the voice booth acting out all his mannerisms for the genie that didn't make it into the film on the Blu-ray. So
Look at this. My gosh. Sheep!
I mean, the countryside is for real. The statues, maybe not so much.
It's gorgeous, though.
no, but it looks good though, Ryan.
Yeah, no, but it's got like almost too much detail. Like it doesn't look like it was weathered enough.
I
Like
don't know. Maybe
some of that could definitely be some styrofoam.
styrofoam. Maybe it was. What was I saying? Oh yeah, for those of you wondering, for the movie The Three Musketeers, we are currently 1 hour, 16 minutes, and 6 seconds into the movie. If you want to queue up your copy on a physical media or streaming service, please do, and let us know your favorite moments of this movie in the comments or the live chat. And don't forget to like and share this with everyone you know. We're about to go into some deep, dark territory here. Yeah. I'm just saying.
He also performs weddings.
What was that, Ryan?
I said he also performs weddings.
Yeah.
He's like just that guy on the spot. Like we need him.
Reading from the scriptures, respectively, I might add.
He is ordained.
His character is, yeah.
Yes. No, if Charlie was ordained, God.
That's a whole different conversation, Ryan. Ryan, that's a whole different conversation that we don't have time for. No! They may have gotten the idea for Sabine Wren from this movie. I wouldn't be surprised if Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau watched this movie a lot when they were younger. This is a really good tragic love story with these two actors, by the way.
They perform it so well.
Yeah. It's good acting.
Oh, look at the tear down her cheek. Yes.
Was it? I can barely notice it, Jen. But
Oh, I saw it. It was when the camera
Tears
was
in my eyes right now. So
okay. Did you notice it, Ryan? I don't know.
Ah,
I may have to go back. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that footage again, Jen.
it's when the camera's zooming in on him. You can see it going down.
Okay. That scene was a bit hard for me to see her just jump off the cliff like that.
Well, it kind of leaves a little bit of the did she die, did she not?
No, I'm pretty sure that she did.
At least well, in this adaptation, I would say she did, because there's other adaptations after this where Milady does pull a stunt like that and she survives.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Oh.
saying. Like that's why you leave it open ended like so that. Again, cardinal rule of movies: if you don't see the dead body, it didn't happen.
Well, okay, I apologize, but in this case, I actually thought she died in that scene.
Well, I don't know if they maybe plan to do a sequel to this, like the original films that came out earlier in the I forget what decade, but because there's 3 movies of those, and Milady comes back in that too.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Milady comes back.
Okay, well,
Even the TV series of the Musketeers,
She
she has a recurring role.
Yeah, she comes back.
Wow. Okay, I heard the BBC TV series, The Three Musketeers. I heard that was a great series.
That's the one I was referring to earlier.
Okay, one of my good friends told me it's like a great adaptation of the story. So if you want a great Three Musketeer adaptation, you need to watch. I just haven't seen it yet, Jen.
Especially if you're into more of streaming shows than movies, that's a good one to stream.
All right. Well, I'll have to look it up, see where I can find it.
Yeah, getting the band back together.
Getting the band back together with that arrow that they're shooting into the different villages where it says "all for one."
I like how all the writing is the same. Like we went to ye old Xerox machine,
copied and pasted. And
yeah, we went to a Xerox machine way back when, and we got like 4 copies of the same note.
Maybe they have a Geoffrey Chaucer with them that just
Geoffrey Chaucer. That's what. There you go. That makes total sense. If that were the case,
we have not yet worked up to the printing press.
We have not gone
But
to that yet. We're using 4 sheets of paper. Sorry.
No, that's another reason why I love A Knight's Tale, because what the director did
Mm-hmm.
in that film was, when you watch behind the scenes,
Mhm.
if you can find a disc with that, I love watching behind the scenes of movies. That's one of
Same
my
here.
favorite. So one of the things the director was asked, like, why did you include Geoffrey Chaucer? He says, well, when you look at the history of Chaucer, he disappears for 2 years.
Mhm.
And this was me telling the story of what he did, because after his 2 years of disappearance, he writes the Cadbury Tales, which is why when you listen to Chaucer's lines in the film, he's like, I think I'm going to have to write all this stuff down about the Knights of the Princess. No, all of it. He's referring to Cadbury Tales.
Oh. Was that Paul Bettany's character?
Yes, it was.
By the way, my favorite part of that whole movie, The Knight's Tale, is when he does the introduction towards the end, and then at the very end of his introduction, he says, God, I'm good.
I could actually recite that whole monologue.
What? Do you mean the introduction scene?
Yeah, the first introduction scene of Auric von Liechtenstein.
The harasser of Parassa, the lance that thrilled France. He gave them hell at La Rochelle, the enforcer of our Lord God. The one, the only, Sir Auric von Liechtenstein. God, I'm good.
Oh, you too.
Oh no, the very first one he goes, thank you, I'll be here all week.
Yes, yeah, Jen, his intro sequences are fantastic.
That was actually my first Paul Bettany.
I didn't see Paul Bettany until years. I think one of my first Paul Bettany movies was, I think it was Wimbledon with Kirsten Dunst.
No, that for me, that was my first Paul Bettany. And that it's another reason why I love that film so much, because then anytime I have seen Paul after that, I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's Jeffrey. Hi.
Yeah. For me, it would have to be Da Vinci Code. Just
good one.
You want to talk about a dark movie? The Da Vinci Code gets dark. That movie gets dark.
And equally as sacrilegious as this is, considering how the Cardinal does his actions.
Those are real stairs, people. He is running up real stairs.
Yeah, these aren't special effects, just in case anyone's
is
wondering.
not
By the way, our new best friend just walked in. Charlie says, my first as well. Great introduction to him as an actor with Paul Bettany.
Oh. Yes.
By the way, Charlie, it's great to see you. Hope everything's well in your neck of the woods. If you're curious as to who she is, she's an award-winning romantasy writer, and she's a cosplayer. Feel free to look her up. The episode is on the End I Quote playlist. You can go back and watch that most recent episode of End I Quote with Charlie Ray on the show, and she was she was a wonderful guest, and we're looking forward to having her back very soon. Which, by the way, Charlie, I think you mentioned that you're willing to be on. What was it? I think you said the Meaning of Fandom in the Nerdy Cantina at some point. If that's the case, then we'll bring you on, Charlie.
Would love to have you.
Yeah, we got some. We have some plans for Nerdy Cantina. I think Jen and Christy are really gonna like it.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
So D'Artagnan
There
just.
we are. I see them hopping. I see them jumping.
And you hear the score start to swell. Isn't that right, Jen?
The reveal.
This is the old French version of "It's the good jobs."
It's the Justice League Unlimited. Yeah. Blue versus red. I wonder where we saw that. Didn't we see those two colors clash once in a little indie film called Star Wars: A New Hope?
Maybe, possibly.
Didn't that happen, Jen?
I mean, it looks similar.
Are you getting a bit of Star Wars, like Jedi versus Sith vibe kind of deal? I don't know.
It's a trope.
It's a trap. By the way, Charlie says, yes, that would be fantastic to appear on numerous shows. Well, guess what, Charlie Ray? Your wish is going to come true here in a few weeks. So I'll DM you the details. And I think I sent you links to past episodes so you get an idea of how the shows are run. Please feel free to do that. They're in the email that I sent you. Watch the shows. If you have any questions, you can always send me a message. So, oh, by the way, Dana is back with us, and she chimes in by saying, Rudyard Kipling's The Jungle Book, 1994, also had some dark moments and dark deaths. Yes, it did.
Isn't that the one where Mowgli's all grown up?
With Jason Scott Lee and Lena Headey.
John Cleese is in that.
And John Cleese is, and Sam Neill.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
a fantastic rendition
Adaptation.
of
Carrie
that.
Elwes is in it too, right?
Carrie Elways is the antagonist. Yeah.
Yes, he is. Oh my goodness. Oh, he's like, why is he looking at that? Because to him, you are food. And then the panther licks its lips.
The panther was Bagheera, I want to say.
Yeah.
Bagheera. Thank
Bagheera.
you.
The panther is Bagheera, the tiger Shere Khan.
Baloo is the bear.
Baloo is the bear, and then who's the other one?
King Louis. The original.
King Louis wasn't he the ape or the monkey? What was he?
The monkey.
The monkey.
Orangutan would probably be best fitting.
Excuse me,
Orangutan,
orangutan,
yeah.
Jen. Yeah, never
And then
mind.
you have Ka.
I don't think Ka was in that one, was he?
Wait, what's it called? The name of the snake.
No, the name of the snake is Ka, but I don't think Ka was in that adaptation, was he? No, he
Is-
was. He was the snake that kills the guys in the water. Yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah, Ka.
Never mind. Never mind. Oh, by the way, you want to know a fun fact about that movie, 1994's iteration of The Jungle Book?
What's that?
You can't find it on any streaming service. You can only find it if you have it on VHS tape.
Yep, they never re-released it.
Nope, and they didn't put it on streaming services, which is a crying shame because that's one of the best Disney live-action adaptations.
Yep.
By the way, fun
brilliant one.
fact for you, Jen, I have The Jungle Book 94 on VHS, and it still works.
I do too. What's the big deal?
Okay, never mind. I didn't think you had it. Sorry. I knew you were a Disney fan, but I didn't know if you had that on VHS. I'm sorry.
Dude, that was another one I'm surprised the VHS didn't break.
Why? They should have released that movie on DVD, honestly.
Right.
They never did, which upsets me because I like that movie. And Jason Scott Lee is an underrated actor.
He really is.
Have you seen him in other stuff? Because he's done some good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He was the voiceover of the love interest in Lilo and Stitch.
Yes, he was.
He was Ray, I think. Dana P says it's a good film, though. 1994's Jungle Book. Yes, it is a good movie. Yeah, it is. You're darn right it is.
I really liked with that one that they chose to have the animals actually be animals. There's no voiceover work.
There's no magic for them talking.
No, it's really realistic, and I appreciate that.
Which is why
Not
it's
that there's anything wrong with voiceover work when it's appropriate. I'm always for it.
But that adaptation's one of the better ones that's come out in the last 35 years.
I thought the one Jon Favreau did was excellent.
Oh no, I love that one. Love that one. That's one of the few Disney live action. To me, that's the only Disney live action remake I can rewatch. The other ones, no.
Oh come on, Cinderella's pretty good.
Listen, Cinderella's fine. It doesn't hold a candle to Ever After. It doesn't hold a candle. Okay.
No, I think for me, they are both really the best adaptations because Kenneth Branagh is a phenomenal actor and director.
Yeah.
I mean, like when I found out that he was directing, and then when I heard that the cast that they got, I really, from my personal opinion, I thought that film was so well done, and I was really upset that they did not hire Kenneth Branagh to do the remaining of the live action remakes. I'm like, can we just use him?
Yeah.
Look at this. Like, this is where I'm going to nerd out. What he did in that film, from set design to choices in costuming and period piece instruments, like this guy was like, I am checking off every single box I can check. Like all the jewelry was from Swarovski, from the Swarovski vault.
Wow.
You don't see those pieces.
No.
He took it so seriously. And then the costuming, when you look at the ballroom scene, every woman is wearing a different era of costume from from all over the world.
Wow. I was not aware of that.
Oh yeah, it's good.
Oh,
you know, I am all bloodshed.
You first.
You first. By the way, even though we've been way off the rails with this discussion, we are.
Yeah, I'm the only one that feels like I've been watching the movie. I know you two have been talking.
No,
But
no, but listen, Ryan, I've been watching the movie while Jen and I are talking. It's called
I'm watching
multitasking.
it too.
So, just to give you a heads
I
up,
know,
for
but
those of you
I
wondering,
haven't had anything to interrupt with because I've just been focusing on this. So it's like
it's okay. We are 1 hour, 29 minutes, and 52 seconds into the movie. So if you want to chime in, pull up your copy on a physical media or a streaming service for the Three Musketeers from 1993 from Walt Disney Pictures. Please do so at this very moment and let us know your favorite moments or quotes or things like that in the comments or the live chat. And don't forget to like and share this with everyone you know. And I want to thank those of you who have chimed in the chat. And for those of you who are watching this on the replay, thank you for being a part of this celebration.
Yay, guys.
Sword belongs to me.
Yes.
Oh, it does. Is that like a musketeer salute when they do that?
Yeah, they do.
Okay. Throws his sword back.
The choreography is so good. I love
it. Good point.
it.
No pun intended. By the way, do you know how to use that thing? Yeah. Point at the end goes into the other man. This is going to take a lot of work. Anyone know what that's from?
Zorro! The Mask of Zorro. One of my favorite Antonio and Anthony Hopkins films.
That's how I was introduced to all three actors, including the very beautiful Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Fun fact, Antonio Banderas introduced her to her now husband.
Really?
Because they're friends.
Antonio introduced... Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
That's how they met.
Wow.
It's Bogeyman.
We're being followed. Do something about it. I did not know that Antonio introduced Catherine. Wow. Well, Antonio has the connections, so well done.
He is good in boots.
By the way, I think it's a shame that Hollywood didn't give us a Zorro 3.
Oh my gosh.
Well, considering how badly Zorro 2 went.
Listen. I know it's not great, but I still liked it enough to the point where I would see a threequel if this wraps up a trilogy.
Oh, Ryan, have you ever seen on TikTok that someone put lightsabers over the Mask of Zorro swords for some of the fight scenes and saying everything is better with lightsabers?
No, you should send that to me.
I'll send
it. And by the sound of it, I don't know if I'd want to, because that's not necessarily true.
I would watch it, Jen, so just DM it to me. Yeah.
Well, the person who did that, I have to commend them on their detail, because they went as far as making sure that when you see because in the hallway scene in the first fight with Antonio with Zorro, he made sure that he went into all of the mirrors in that hallway and made sure all of the reflections reflected correctly to the editing.
Oh yeah, because I know when watching the movie, there were a lot of mirrors in that fight sequence, and I'm thinking
that person did a lot of hard work. I was like, I have to commend you.
I hope the cameramen and the people who were on set moved out of the way so they weren't caught in the shot.
Well, that actually has to do with choreography, where they will practice the choreography with cameras, because cameras are incorporated into the choreography.
Oh, well, good thing the cameras didn't catch their reflection in the mirror, did they? Thank goodness. Ah, whoa, ugly. Ah! And the guy gets spiked, by the way.
And squished.
There's a lot of dark things in this movie that Disney probably wouldn't do today. So.
No, they wouldn't.
No, and Dana P goes on to say, she says Jungle Book is a good film, though, and it was, in fact, released by Disney. Yes, it was. Yes, the 94 iteration of the Jungle Book. Yes.
Yeah, there's only really one good Jungle Book movie that wasn't Disney oriented, and that would be
Andy Serkis.
Yeah.
Which I haven't seen it yet, but I want to see it because it's Andy Serkis, and I love Andy Serkis.
I liked it. It was definitely closer in there was an animation I remember back then that was done by
who?
What's his face?
What, the other
did
guy?
a lot of doing stuff.
I can't. Oh, you mean Peter Jackson?
No, like Looney Tunes.
See, this is another thing I appreciate. These guys are sweating.
Chuck Jones.
They're sweating.
These guys are sweating, Ryan. These guys are sweating in this
They're
scene.
breathing hard.
If you have to wear an outfit like that, you'd sweat too. There's not a good winter in France.
You killed my father? Oh, yes. As I will you.
You want to bet?
Michael Wincott is so good at playing bad guys.
He knows how to carry himself.
I mean, seriously, this guy could play any villainous role and win an award for. I would give him an award for almost anything.
He's got that pointy kind of face. If you look at his bone structure with his nose, his chin, his cheeks,
and then he had the long-haired wig and the crow. Which, by the way,
he doesn't have that boyish roundness that Whistle Down.
Boy, he just stabbed him right in the heart, didn't he?
Yep.
Stomach.
No. I think that's the heart, Ryan, isn't it?
It's a little to the left.
Yeah,
don't you mean is it
under
back?
Is it
back into the left?
Like
No,
it's It's like in the lung, definitely.
It looked like it was in the heart, though, Ryan. He
I
stabbed
thought-
him. I think he stabbed him partially near the heart, but maybe I'm wrong. For you, Father. But look who helped him get his sword back. Look who it is.
Constance.
It's Constance, played by Julie Delpy.
Newsflash, he's gonna hook up with the queen and have twins.
By the way, that's in the sequel. So, yeah. That's in the sequel, guys.
That still messes with me. When I see it and they're gonna have that moment together, I'm like, oh my gosh, he's gonna get it on with Queen.
Read it, you'll find out more.
Either read the books or you can just watch the movie The Man in the Iron Mask for free on YouTube with ads. Which is how I watched it 2 weeks ago. It's how I watched The Man in the Iron. Do you notice they're posting like more and more popular movies to YouTube for free these days? Honestly.
Well, they need the traffic.
Yeah, well, not only that, Ryan, but I watched my favorite war movie of all time a few days ago called Glory. So
That was free with ads?
that's for free with ads on YouTube right now. I'm not even kidding. It's my favorite war movie ever made, and it's on YouTube for free.
See, that's so smart. He took one of those
Torches.
Thank you, and using it to his advantage.
Where have you been?
Well, he put it in his bad arm, the one that got
taking care of
stabbed.
something.
Obviously, that's not holding the sword.
Richelieu! You're too late, musketeers. The alliance is complete. That would be difficult considering the treaty never left France.
A minor problem.
Oh,
I shall return as strong, and the throne will be mine. I think not.
Shocker!
He's not dead.
God works in mysterious ways.
You see, there is a God.
The
who
rising
never
shall
harmed
be triumphant.
another soul ever again. My promise to God. Wait. Punches him right in the jaw.
Well done, Your Majesty.
Oh!
Does he die though, or does he just
Cream
get?
and cream, knocked your ass out.
Does he die in that scene, or does he just gets arrested later?
I think.
Well, I would assume that the cardinal can't swim and he's wearing a lot of clothes, so I assumed he drowned.
All right, so then he's dead then in that scene.
Yeah.
You want to write that one down? Then fine, he's dead.
Oh, here it comes.
Dun, 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 dun,
Such a
dun.
good shot.
All four of them together there, Jen.
Beautiful.
Arise. Is this the man who saved my life? His name's D'Artagnan, sire.
Choose your words wisely.
I'm sorry. Even with the purple outfit, now he's even more berries and cream. I can't unsee it.
And that's
He's more what?
He looks more like berries and cream, he said.
With the purple outfit on, God.
Is that a purple outfit? Yeah, it is.
Lavender, yeah.
Well, it's close to being purple, so yeah.
No, it's definitely purple. It's like that royal purple that royals wear.
Yes.
That's
yes.
what that is.
Purple.
It is purple,
We got the
Ryan.
good liquor.
But there are those who oppose these powerful forces. Look at Porthos.
He's gonna wipe a tear from it.
He's crying the whole time. He's crying the whole time.
Emotional man.
Rise, D'Artagnan, and join them.
Yay!
He gets the musketeer outfit. He becomes a musketeer. Look at Julie Delpy. Look at Julie Delpy. She is beaming right now.
Hermes just nudges him like, "Hey,
It's like, hey, wake up, man! Don't
man
cry."
up, man." Ooh.
So, how about this? You get to be a musketeer. You get the girl. You save the king, all in the span of like what, a week? So,
Dude, that was romantic literature back then.
That's
That's a pretty good
Knew
read.
exactly what he was doing.
look at these buildings.
This shows you what life was like without television. You got a lot of stuff done.
Your father will be proud of you. You're a musketeer. So what do we
You
do
know what,
now?
Mom? I'm not even tired.
What's next? Well, we protect the king, protect the queen, in the name of God, and France. Correct? France, indeed.
Wait, Ryan, what was Ryan gonna say?
Oh wait, here we come. Here we come.
Oh my god.
My scissors on, I will not wait a moment longer. Oh, and dang it. We also protect each other.
Come on. Do the thing. Do the thing.
All for one.
And one for all.
And one for all.
Run!
Run! Oh my gosh. Oh, by the way,
And then everybody.
how many
everyone's cheering them on. Yeah.
that's like 100 musketeers. That's like 50 or 60 musketeers right now. By the way, Dana P says, even though 93's Three Musketeers flick isn't completely based off the book, I like the changes that have been made. Not everyone is having an affair. Love interests were faithful to loved ones.
That's the Disney component.
Well, that was like the Disney motif. Keep it family oriented.
Yeah.
Well, and let's see. Dana P says the tear on Sabine earlier. I did notice that earlier on in the film.
Thank you.
Dana was observant. Dana goes on to say, "Oh, that's a good flick, The Mask of Zorro. Love
it's so good.
You're darn right it is, because The Mask of Zorro is one of the best films ever made. Period. So yeah, and we did a 25th anniversary watch along for that movie, The Mask of Zorro, earlier this year. So you can go back and watch that on our Movie Nerds playlist, which I know Jen is probably going to watch that at some point or another because The Mask of Zorro is great. I mean, you do. I mean, you do like the movie, so.
Yeah, I do.
You'll probably go back and, watch that. By the way, Charlie's asking us a very interesting question. She says, does the Disney Plus version include the Bryan Adams, Sting, Rod Stewart music video? Well, not the music video, but it does include the song at the end credit sequence, which is what we're hearing right now, by the way. Well, we can't hear it, but what I'm saying is they are playing it as the movie is ending. So it's called an end credit sequence. So feel free to look it up, Charlie. It's there. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end credit sequence of the movie known as The Three Musketeers, released by Walt Disney Pictures and starring an all-star cast, some of whom were up-and-coming actors and actresses of the time. So we hope you've enjoyed. This is the end of the line, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you've enjoyed the ride. Very much so, thank you. And Porthos the brandy. Don't let it go to waste. This has been fun. So, Jen, final thoughts on The Three Musketeers and a scale of 1 to 10. What are you going to give this film?
Oh, man. I really enjoy this movie. The cast is phenomenal. The costuming is great. The fact that this film was filmed, I believe, entirely on location, save maybe 1 or 2 bits. I really appreciate all that went into this film. So for me, this is definitely, especially for live action Disney, it's a 10 out of 10.
Wow. 10 out of 10. That's a big one. Fantastic.
Sorry, don't mind me. I've just actually been looking up Paul Weston, the stunt coordinator for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
He's been working ever since '67 with like James Bond movies.
Oh, wow.
And I was right. He did do stuff of the same nature. He did Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Oh, the Kevin Costner iteration.
I was going to mention that earlier. Didn't that come out in the 90s as well?
I think that was 91, wasn't it?
92. He also did the stuff for Dragonheart.
Oh.
The TV miniseries Merlin with Sam Neill.
Mm-hmm.
I love that series.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And A Knight's Tale. He also did A Knight's Tale.
With, what's his face? Chaucer. Yeah.
And he did The Count of Monte Cristo.
Oh, wow.
Which, that's the Jim Caviezel, Guy Pearce movie. Yeah.
Yes, that version.
Isn't Henry Cavill in that one, too?
Ooh, I actually think yeah.
I think that was his first live action film, wasn't it?
Oh, and let's see, what else did he work on?
Can you Google that and find out if Henry Cavill was in that? I think he was. I think Henry Cavill was in The Count of Monte Cristo.
I see it in Charlie in the chat says yes.
Oh, is that what you? Oh, I'm sorry. Charlie says Henry Cavill, yes, was indeed in The Count of Monte Cristo with Jim Caviezel, Guy Pearce, and a few other well-known actors at the time. Fantastic. I was not.
You'll love this. He also worked on Skyfall.
Yes.
And he worked on Star Wars episode 8.
Yes.
Wow.
As well as Fantastic Beasts, Crimes of Grindelwald, F9 Fast Saga, Last Night in Soho.
My God.
His most recent movie was, oh God.
What was it?
On the one hand, he did the stunt work. He did stunt work for The Batman with Pattinson.
That's a good movie.
That's a.
But then he also followed it up with Morbius.
I don't think anyone remembers Morbius, but
Oh, they remember it.
no, it just didn't
I'll
happen.
just-
No,
they remember
like,
it for the parade.
look at the legacy he has just in his resume.
That's like a
My
70-year legacy right there. That's ridiculous. By the way, Dana P says, I wasn't aware of the fact until I was older that Paul McGann played two different characters within this film. Gerard, D'Artagnan's arch nemesis, and then he played Jussac, one of Milady's bodyguards.
Yeah, you really couldn't tell the difference because of like the facial makeup that they put on them. But he's the one that's at the ship asking for passage.
No kidding.
Yeah, but they put a scar on his face across the eye. They put the mustache and the beard on him and the hair on him. So it is kind of like day and night when you compare it to like the pale-faced, freshly shaven, red-haired Gerard. You can tell the difference.
I gotta go back and look at that. I've never noticed that. Thank you, Dana, for that.
Dana was the one who mentioned that. And then Charlie goes on to say Henry Cavill plays the son in The Count of Monte Cristo. Wow.
Okay, that's
about right.
Wow. That's crazy. And then Constance played a bigger role in the movie novelization. Okay. Or you mean
she does.
movie novelization. Okay, now I know what you mean.
Yes. Yeah, she does.
Thank you, Dana. Appreciate you mentioning that because I was not aware of that. So Ryan the Real Deal O'Regan, I got to ask you this. Two things. One of your thoughts on this movie 30 years later, and number two is on a scale of 1 to 10, what are you going to give this movie?
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, for it being like that kind of like epic action adventure that you would have gone in the 90s, it still holds up.
It does.
And it doesn't, aside from maybe some of the dialogue, there's very little that I could say is dated about it because it really just plays into the themes that Alexandre Dumas would have had for his characters, while, yes, still keeping it Disney family friendly. Obviously, the books and things that are closer to the book probably get a little bit darker and deeper with this. But as far as like this being a Disney movie in the 90s, be lucky that you got this dark. Any darker, and I don't think they would have like even thought about making it. This holds up. I love me some Porthos. Yes. The bandana still held on. I like that. I would say it almost does kind of feel like maybe it should have been a little bit longer. Like they really breezed through some things, but again, back then you weren't doing stuff like this that at 2 hours or more like we get now with like Marvel movies. But I would say as far as a rating, this is easily like an 8. Again, the dialogue is really the only thing that kills it for me sometimes because it's almost maybe a little bit too modern. But again, for that kind of era, that's how they did things. So, I mean, would I appreciate one that maybe stuck a little bit closer to the writing or something that maybe felt a little bit more authentic? Sure. But given what we were able to have, this is a little piece that families can watch this. You don't have to worry about it maybe being over sexualized or ultra violent. All the gunplay, there's very little blood that's shown. All the romance, it's more symbolic than actually physical, with the exception of that whole teaching D'Artagnan how to kiss thing.
And Cardinal Whistler and the Queen's.
Yeah, no, that's risque, but nothing overly done, I would say. But again, they're wenches, so I mean, it's really hard to ask a wench permission before you do anything. That's just how it was back then. Don't get at me. But
no, it's true. Look
solid.
No, I gotcha. So
Jim's just looking at me and it's like, but
or maybe not.
I'm not trying to excuse France in the 1600s.
No.
No, I do agree with you because I think with films there is a way with period films, like if you wanted to insert modern terminology, there is a way to do it. But that line is very thin because it's easy to go over the line and overdo it, which could cause it for a film to not make sense. It's like, why are you doing that? This is not even period. You're doing a period film. Why? So it's a very thin line, but it can be done right if you have good writing.
That's true. See, this is why we bring on the greatest guests in the world on these shows. They're so smart. So for me, I enjoy watching this movie. I can watch this movie at any time of the year. It's a fun throwback to simpler times when there were practical effects. You didn't have to worry about things being oversaturated with CGI, visual effects. You had real costumes, real actors, real sets, real stakes. You had horseback riding. You had sword choreography. You had
a horse literally falling over.
you had Porthos bringing down the house. You had him teaching a young D'Artagnan how to kiss a lady, which it's funny. I'll just leave it at that because I don't want to offend anybody here on set, but it's a fun movie. There's some stuff that happens in this movie that is very risque, on the borderline of PG-13, or not R rating, but certainly PG-13, if you know what I'm talking about. Hello, Rebecca De Mornay. But hey, things were different. The studio system was a bit different, so things have changed. So it's fun. And plus, the All for Love song with Rod Stewart, Bryan Adams, Sting. Pretty darn good song. I'm not going to lie. Feel free to look it up. It's available to stream on all your streaming music streaming services. But it's, hey, Dana, come on now, Dana. She says, All for Love song, big sigh. Come on, Dana. Listen, I like it for what it is. You don't have to. That's okay. If you like it, if I like something that you don't like, that's fine. Listen, to each their own.
But back then there was never going to be like a collaboration unless you did something like this. You got Rod Stewart, Bryan Adams,
Sting,
and Sting
in the same building at the same time.
So. Singing.
Yeah, that's never happened before.
Well, no, this was a trend with Disney for a little while, because you have Celine Dion, and I forget the singer, in the original Beauty and the Beast film credits. You had those two singers sing Beauty and the Beast, and then I believe
Aladdin did the same thing.
Yeah, Aladdin did the same thing, which is where Mel Brooks makes fun of all this in Robin Hood Men in Tights, because he gets a couple of singers to sing through the credits because he's poking fun at it because it's a trend.
I did not know that. That's funny.
Yes. This was a trend with Disney, getting a bunch of singers to collaborate and sing in the credits.
I think the best example of that was Mulan's True to Your Heart with Stevie Wonder and NSYNC.
Exactly.
Wait, no, 98 Degrees. It was a lesser boy band.
Yeah, 98 Degrees.
98 Degrees. I have not heard that song, much less seen the original Mulan movie in a long time. I should sit down and revisit that.
Wait, you have seen it, right?
Yes, I just haven't revisited it.
Okay.
I've seen Mulan. I just haven't seen it in a long time.
Like, there are certain films he mentions to me, Ryan, that I'm like, how have you not seen this?
Well, I've been going on a bit of a binge lately of catching up on some things, and Jen has seen my posts on social media. Ryan, you can always go back and look at those. But yeah, I've watched some stuff that's really surprised me of how great these films are. So I'm blown away by a lot of the things I've witnessed thus far. But bottom line is this: Three Musketeers is a fun adventure movie. If you want to revisit it, or if you've never seen it before, I think you should sit down and watch it one time. I think it's fun. So scale 1 to 10, I'm going to give the Three Musketeers an 8 out of 10. It's a fun movie. It's got humor. It's got romance, and it's got
a sober Charlie Sheen, which is a rarity.
Well, I wasn't going to go there, Ryan, because I don't want to make this personal. But Oliver Platt is hilarious. Oliver Platt is a funny actor, and he's good at improv. If some of the stuff he actually did in this movie was improv, I don't know if it was or not. But
I don't know. I don't know how it couldn't have been.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely was like the comic relief in the whole movie.
Yeah,
he really brings it together. I don't know what this film would be without him.
I am not sure either. So that's why they assembled a great cast, a great crew, great people who worked on the set. So congrats to everybody and the entire cast and crew of what is known as the Three Musketeers from 1993. We thank you for joining us. Jen, where can the person watching or listening to this follow you on social media?
You can follow me at two of my handles. The first one is at Jen Adamina Gadaski. That is my personal Instagram handle. And then also at Rocking Your Bald, _your_bald. That is my podcast called Rocking Your Bald, where I talk to a lot of people about alopecia and all other things.
Fantastic. Ryan, the real or deal or Regan, it's been a while, my friend, but we're happy that you joined us for these festivities. Where can the person watching or listening to this follow you on social media?
Pretty much anywhere there's social media, you can usually find me at Real or Deal. That's good for Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook, obviously, because if you're watching this from me, you're probably watching it on the Facebook page. And also, don't forget to check out where else I do my other work. Whereas Ryan has his nerd culture, I have Stream Punk Entertainment, where we do our weekly shows talking about film, sports, sometimes wrestling, and whatever else can come up. Obviously, we have our show Tales from the Film Set every Monday at 8:30, and I also host the wrestling show Jabronis United, which is every Wednesday at 9:30.
Jabronis United. I like that. On the corner of Noyero Boulevard and Jabroni Drive. I love it, man. As someone who grew up watching wrestling, I understood.
Oh, well, then you'll love it.
That reference. It's good. It's very good. Well, this is. Oh yes,
Ryan,
Jen. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, Ryan, you definitely need to keep the bandana look. I'm really digging it.
Well, if you want to know the truth, I don't mean to give away too many things in terms of production notes,
Oh
but
no!
on Tuesday, we're having another movie anniversary celebration for James Bond's Quantum of Solace, and Ryan's going to be joining us. So, Ryan, if you want to keep the blue going on, I mean, our thumbnail for that show is blue. So if you want to keep the bandana rolling, man, you go right ahead. I don't care.
Or I
you
don't
can,
know. I mean,
you could.
it's James Bond, though. It doesn't really fit.
You're
does
right.
It?
It doesn't. But
No, yeah.
if you want to wear something,
however, this is a tie.
oh, so you can
Well,
just,
it's a tie.
you can readjust it, right, Ryan? Can you do it
Yeah.
like this? Just you know.
No, give me a second.
Oh, give him a second. He's got to put the knot together first. Excuse me.
Ooh, here we go.
You know, I have the hardest time tying ties. It's difficult.
Really?
Yeah. Well, no, I watched a video on YouTube of how to do it, and then I eventually learned.
Oh yeah, no, we've all watched a video at some point down. Just like,
Yeah. Has anyone ever had to go on YouTube and watch a video on how to tie a tie or a bow tie? Because those things are rough, man.
I don't wear ties.
No, sorry, Jen. It wasn't you.
There.
Nicely done.
Look at that.
Bravo.
Okay, I'll tell you what, Ryan. You want to wear a tie on Tuesday night when we're celebrating the 15th anniversary of Quantum of Solace?
Yes, although I think I will have my hair cut because I did have it like nice and bloused out and everything for Porthos, but I do need to be a little bit more suave and debonair for Bond.
Miss Kennedy, would you give me a dry vodka martini? Shaken, not stirred. So we might want to have to bring those too.
Sean Connery, I love you.
Yeah, well, in this case, we're celebrating the 15th anniversary of Quantum of Solace, which stars Daniel Craig.
I know.
Which is the sequel to 2006's Casino Royale, which we're celebrating on Tuesday. So if you want to join us for that, feel free to do so in the comments of the chat. Ryan's going to be on the panel with us, and I believe we're going to be having a special guest by the name of Brittany is going to be joining us for Quantum of Solace. That's going to be her first movie anniversary watch along, at least with us here on this show. So that's going to be a blast. And then on Thursday, the 16th, we're celebrating the 30th anniversary of Robin Williams' performance as Mrs. Doubtfire with two very special people who are going to be joining us for that one. So stay tuned to our social media. My name is Ryan of Nerd Culture. Follow me, if you will, on Twitter and Instagram at RyanRPM5 for the personal account. As far as our social media, our links are located in the description of this video, as well as for Ryan, the Real Deal Regan, and Jen, her links are located in the description below. Follow us across all forms of social media. Dana says, many blessings to you all. And then Dana goes on to say, oh, I recommend Mickey, Donald, and Goofy's The Three Musketeers from 2004. Thank you. Thank you, people in the audience. And Dana Page goes on to say, once again, many blessings. Well, thank you, Dana.
Love you, Dana. Thank you.
Dana, we appreciate you.
Honestly.
I think I think everyone who's joined us in this festivities has been fantastic. So once again, we're going to be reaching 1,000 subscribers here pretty soon. I got to let you guys know that. And once we do, we're going to throw a great big live stream celebration where Jen and Ryan and Charlie and many other friends of ours are going to be here. We're going to do a live stream celebration with special guests and special giveaways that you, our incredible subscribers and fans, could have the opportunity to win, including 11 by 17 sized prints from our friend, the Art of John Pinto. Look at this thing. Ooh, yeah. Darth Vader could be going to somebody's home here pretty soon, ladies and gentlemen. Also, if you're a fan of the Trek and the Stars, oh, yeah, that one. Strange New World. Anybody familiar with that one? Could win a print like that. Or if you're a fan of something that's been around for, I don't know, 6 decades, known as Doctor Who, you can walk away with this print. We can send it to you. So look at that. It's got all the doctors on it. Isn't that cool? I think it's cool.
Wait. No, hold on. Wait.
Count them all, Ryan. See? Count them all.
Okay, so this is pre 13th Doctor.
Yes. So it's got.
Technically, 13 is 12, so Yeah, female.
There you go.
conqueror.
You could if one of our
sorry.
subscribers wins this print, we're going to be sending it to
Other
your
than I
home.
nerd out on nerd culture.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Hey, listen, Ryan, if you want to do a deep dive on the Whovian universe, feel free to do so on someone else's channel because I don't know what you're talking about. So, I'm sorry. I tried watching a few episodes of Doctor Who, and I just couldn't get into it. I'm sorry. It just didn't do it for me. Sorry.
Well, who did you watch? That's the question.
It was. Hold on a second. Let me look at my notes. Capaldi. Didn't work for me. Didn't work. Peter Capaldi didn't work.
No. Start off with Tennant, work your way up to Matt Smith, then go back to Eccleston. Then you'll understand Capaldi.
Probably, but I don't want to, so it's not going to happen, Ryan.
I tried.
Yeah. Anyway, so this has been a lot of fun diving back into the 1993 time machine with the Three Musketeers. I hope you have enjoyed this. And don't forget to do us a solid. Like, comment, share, subscribe, ring that bell to be notified when our new videos go up or they go live. And in the meantime, life is better when watching movies with family or friends, neighbors, coworkers, all that kind of stuff. And remember this, all for one and one for all.
You're under arrest.
5 of them, 3 of us. Hardly seems fair. Maybe we should give him a chance to surrender.
Excuse me, but there's 4 of us.
Pathos, worthless scenarios.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
Now, we're prepared to resist. Walt Disney Pictures presents the story of the greatest heroes who ever lived.
Long live the Musketeers!
It was a time when danger was irresistible.
Did I miss anyone?
King's life is in danger.
We have work to do.
1,000 gold pieces on each of their heads, dead or alive.
I prefer
Kill him!
dead.
Adventure was everywhere.
I hope we're not interrupting. Kill those musketeers.
Champagne? In the middle of a case, Porthos.
And friendship
That's right. Nothing red.
was the greatest weapon of all.
All for one. More for me.
Charlie Sheen,
Must pray for our sins. Second thought, God's often busy.
Kiefer Sutherland,
Save the king!
Chris O'Donnell,
On a mission for the king.
I've heard that before.
Oliver Platt,
That's it. Next time you drive.
Tim Curry,
Snap of my fingers, and you could be back on the block where I found you.
and Rebecca De Mornay.
And with a flick of my wrist, I could change your religion.
The Three Musketeers.
All right, I'm a little tired, I'm a little wired, and I think I deserve a little appreciation.